I have some new tour dates to announce. I will be in Cork, Ireland on June 9th at Live at the Marquee. Tickets for this show go on sale Tuesday, May 21st at 2 p.m. local time. We also have tickets remaining in New York, New York on May 31st, Belfast, UK on June 6th, London, June 16th, Idaho Falls, Salt Lake City, and Las Vegas, Nevada. We will be down there on July 5th and 6th for the 4th of July weekend. Get all your tickets at theovon.com/TOUR. And thank you so much for your support. Today's guest is a comedian. He's a podcaster. He's the co-host of Matt and Shane's Secret podcast. He has a special that just premiered last year called The Speed of Light. He's touring now everywhere. I'm grateful to get to spend time with him. Today's guest is Matt McCusker.
Shine that light on me. I'll sit and tell you my stories. Shine on me, and I will find a song I will sing it. I'm gonna stay.
Well, what have you been watching? Have you been watching NBA Finals or War in Gaza?
More war in Gaza, honestly. Yeah, I haven't caught a lot of the finals.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm being, bombarded with the footage of the war. Opinions about it, everyone, people have a different take.
Yeah, people have, I guess, a lot of different takes over there. I don't even know what inning it is in, but
I think it's in overtime. I think they've been going for a while.
Yeah, it seems like it's kind of you feel like a referee would step in.
Yeah, you think.
And mitigate it because it feels like it's like a 10-run rule genocide over there.
Yeah, that's the that's like the popular opinion that they're being totally genocided. They throw out the kids and you're like, damn, that's terrible.
Yeah.
But then you get people going, hey, why can't Israel defend itself? And you go, all right, that's a fair point too.
Oh yeah, no, that's definitely a fair point.
Yeah, I have no idea, man. I think it's awful, and it's like I hear a lot of people talk about it with certainty, and I'm like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Anytime I watch a video about pro-Palestine, I'm like, okay, I see that. And then we had RFK on our podcast yesterday, and he was like, actually, Israel rules, and we're like, okay, those are good points too. But it's very bad from what I understand. The footage I see is really bad, and I hope they can figure it out. But it looks like they're going to have to. A lot more people are going to have to die, and then they're going to maybe figure it out. Because the U.S. could shut it down, couldn't they?
It seems like we could. Yeah. It seems like we could jump in and shut it down, But we fund Israel. I just don't like that Netanyahu. I don't trust that Netanyahu guy.
Yeah, he's a shady character.
That guy seems like like a control pervert or something.
Yeah, he seems like for real a bad guy. He
Yes.
seems like a real deal bad guy.
Even if you just look at him like, oh, that's the bad guy. If you asked a 4-year-old, right, like, who's the bad guy here? They would immediately pick out that dude.
Also, whenever someone's been the president for like 27 years, that's usually the case where it's like, all right. The U.S. should go to war with both of them. We should start bombing Israel and Palestine until they both stop. Maybe. I don't know. I'm spitballing.
I think I've always thought we should give Mississippi to Palestine.
That's not bad. One of them's going to get Mississippi. Loser gets Mississippi.
Or, what I'm saying? Give Palestine a place here,
That'd be cool. I'd be down with that.
Because then at least the people would have a place to be, where they could not be in competition, I guess, with their neighbors and live at peace, But yeah, I don't know a ton about it. I just feel like a certain way,
Yeah. Yeah, I'll watch Norman Finkelstein and I'm like, holy shit, this guy. And I'm like, he's Jewish, so he's got the inside track. And then I watch people talk about him like he's a piece of shit. And it's like, dude, it's a bad thing. The student protests are crazy too. Yeah. Then you have peace demonstrations that fight each other over the issue. And it's like, it's kind of LARPing. Like when the college kids start like
it's
moshing.
the new Renaissance fair kind of. I mean, I hate, I don't mean to like belittle like that, but then it's like, and then the craziest part was at Ole Miss, they started yelling USA. It's like.
Really?
Yeah.
Which side was yelling USA? Oh, the frat boys.
The frat boys, yeah.
Came in and
they were just like,
American.
don't bring any of this shit around here.
They're kind
know?
of playing Risk in real life. They were America and they came in like, yeah, dude, fuck, don't touch the flag. America rules.
Yeah. Yeah, I think when people start taking down the flag, I guess that makes total sense too, you know?
Yeah, you can fight about anything, really, you know?
Yeah.
But that's one thing. To go to like a news story and just be like, all right, I'm this team. I'm going to fight these guys.
I think sometimes you think, oh, maybe we're past war, but maybe that's just a side effect of living in America and not realizing that a lot of people still live in like a lot of conflict, you know?
Yeah, no, it does. It seems more and more ridiculous. It seems like back in the day, it was normal, at least back then, like slavery was a worldwide institution that everyone was like, yeah, this is just how it is. And I wonder if war is going to become that in like 50 years where it's like, dude, you guys are going to war. It's like, oh, that's shitty. It's like, we didn't know. Because it's insane. But it's like if someone attacks you, you have to attack them back to stop them from attacking you. So it's one of those things, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to stop. It'd be nice, but it does seem more and more ridiculous, especially when you have like the politicians who are like, we got to love everyone. We need to like include marginalized. And they're like, go bomb the fuck out of those guys. You're like, all right, that's for sure. Like, that's a weird change of pace, but yeah.
Yeah, you start to realize like, oh, it's all a bunch of bullshit kind of like, it's all like, I don't even know what I'm trying. It's like,
no, it's absurd. I think war is becoming absurd now because it's just kind of like,
well, you can see why it's happening. I feel like it used to be this mirage, like we're fighting for the country and stuff. And now it's like, well, now people are like, what do you mean? You don't even care about our country. Like our government's just letting millions of people in. Eric Adams just said that they should let illegal immigrants. This is the fucking most insane thing I've ever heard. Okay. He said they should let illegal immigrants be lifeguards at pools, which is a job that is apparently in high demand because we don't have enough people doing the job.
I mean, dude, I had a community pool in Philly that it would get shut down because there were no lifeguards and it used to drive me crazy.
Oh.
So it's a real thing. There's a lack of lifeguards in like, at least in Philadelphia, they were hard to come across. I mean, it's pretty funny. But he said because they're excellent swimmers.
That states those jobs that we are in high demand, we could expedite. How do we have a large body of people that are in our city and country that are excellent swimmers, and at the same time we need lifeguards? And the only obstacle is that we won't give them the right to work to become a lifeguard.
So you're saying illegal aliens are great swimmers? That's kind of like a setup for a pretty easy joke about, Mexican dudes.
Well, not Mexican. They didn't, like, there's not even, it's all desert. I mean, I could see maybe Cubans. I could see Puerto Ricans, maybe, Nova Scotians, or somebody that would have to swim here. But.
Well, that's the joke. Isn't that the joke, though? Mexican dudes to say they swam here across some river. But, I mean, I would say.
I don't, did they?
I think so. But
what river could it be?
I could be wrong. I could be.
Oh, the Rio Grande?
Yeah. I think that's like the final, like in the Oregon Trail when you have to do that final river. Yeah, I think that's the final thing they got to do. That's like knee deep, but.
Oh, wow. Yeah, maybe that is the final thing. There's some of them congratulating their friends or whatever.
Yeah, they got to put out like an inner city Baywatch as like lifeguard propaganda to get people stoked on lifeguarding again.
Dude, yeah, why don't we have a Mexican Baywatch, some big, breasty lifeguards at
That's
the
what
border.
I'm saying. That was when lifeguarding was cool. Now, like, nobody wants to be a lifeguard because it's kind of like, it's not as cool as it was.
Yeah.
Pam Anderson, they could have, and just like a bunch of Band-Aids floating in the pool. It'd be tight. It'd be really cool.
Dude, I would go run across a border every day and just fucking start drowning, get some CPR.
True, dude. They gotta fire something up because it does suck when you want to go to a pool in your neighborhood and they're like, oh, we're closed. And you're like, why? And like, we don't have lifeguards. And you're like, dude, are you fucking serious?
But how do you not have a lifeguard? Usually they would let a 15-year-old or 16-year-old kid who was taller than some of the other kids, and he took a CPR class, right, or learned it online. They would let him be the lifeguard. How was that? When did that stop?
I don't know. I think it still is kids. I think they just don't want to work, I guess. I don't know what it is. Because it's a cake job, dude. You're just sitting there on the high chair.
Did you were a lifeguard?
No, I've watched them. Yeah. I've been watching them for a long time. But it's like, it seems easy. You just chill. In a pool, it's easy. The ocean is real.
Yeah.
A pool, it's like, dude, just keep an eye, make sure nobody drowns.
Oh, yeah, pool. That guy wasn't watching kids. A lot of times it seemed like he was just trying to smash like any chicks or moms or whatever.
Dude.
Like there'd be 4 drowning kids and he'd be over there fucking just doing chest compressions on a divorcee, you know?
That's the perks of the job. That's crazy. Kids don't want to do that. It's probably like $15 an hour, hooking up with moms.
Sunshine. And it's the best your body is probably the healthiest you're going to be.
Yeah.
You still have exosome. You still have like cord blood in your system or whatever.
Yeah, man. You get the like the platelets and all that stuff. Yeah, and you can also do that thing where everyone has to, like public pools. Everyone has to get out for some reason. They'll be like on like every hour, like everyone out of the pool.
Yeah, for no
and everyone
reason.
gets back in, so you could like start letting a couple ladies like you guys stay, you guys out.
Yeah, like a water bouncer kind of. yeah, hot chicks in first, you know.
Yeah,
dude, and
dude.
at that age, you were so prime. You could just point at your dick and it would ejaculate, you know?
Yeah,
When
man.
you were like 15.
Yeah, you're doing like they're like at least the ones on the beach. They do like insane conditioning too.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, you're jacked, you're ripped. I think kids just aren't jacked they're not as jacked anymore, so they're probably ashamed of their bodies.
Yeah.
They're pale and kind of like, you know, not as ripped as they were before.
You think so?
Yeah, kids are not ripped like they were. They all wear fucking shirts now. Every little kid at the beach wears a fucking sun protective shirt. It's like, let me see your pecs. Trying to see how they're built. I want to make sure
Actually,
we're
I
not
met a kid at the
degenerating.
beach. There's a picture of a kid I met years ago, and we kept in touch over letter. We've been pen pals for a
Really?
few years. Yeah.
What was he wearing?
Oh, he wasn't wearing much. He's kind of a thicker kid. I think one of his parents had passed away.
Oh,
But
damn.
If you find it, bring it up. There we go. And that kid was like 9, one of those big kids.
A big
you know?
9-year. That's good though. That's his cocoon. He's about to totally morph. Who's the dude?
That's me, buddy.
What?
Yeah.
Bro, when was this?
That's back when you could wear what you wanted before the government said everything.
Dude, you look great, man.
Thanks, dude.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like that kid should be more ripped than you, just by laws of nature. I mean, again, I'm not shaming him. Obviously, I was a fat young kid too. So,
Oh, that kid ripped into some cookies, dude. That dude was a fucking snack daddy. He was a little fucking snack serpent.
were you fat when you were younger?
No, I was fat. I remember there was like one fall or something. Everybody in our town got fat or something. I think something bad happened. And then everybody got fat. And then like in the spring, everybody like kind of thinned out.
Yeah. 7th grade's like peak fat. 7th grade for kids, you get like really fat, and then puberty kind of like shoots you up.
Yeah. Did you go through a thicker time in your life?
Yeah, I was pretty chubby. I wanted to play football, and I stopped growing. So I was like, I'm just going to get huge. So I did like the gallon of milk a day thing in like 8th grade going into 9th, and I just got fat as hell. I was like super fat. I just got fat and I got cut from the football team.
Yeah, you're just drinking a gallon of milk a day, dude. You're a newborn.
They used to say that if you drink a gallon of milk a day, you just put on tons of mass. Now, you know the Cozy Shack rice puddings? They're these big tubs of rice pudding. I would crush one of those every day.
Bring up a couple rice puddings.
Dude, Cozy Shack, that was my shit. I used to crush them in class. So I got really big. I just wasn't tall enough. I played D end and then I stopped growing. I'm 5'10". Yeah, those things, man. God damn it, man.
Were they good?
Yeah, they're so good. You guys ever eat Cozy Shack? It's good, man. I used to crush a tub. It was like 9 servings, and I would sit there in class and put it down. They called me Fat Matt. I had like a serious fat period.
Really?
But I did own it. I really owned it. My screen name, my AOL screen name was Fat Matt.
Oh.
Then I got kicked off of AOL because I had written something. It was like a rap lyric about gun violence in a chat room. I was just like a Beastie Boys song. And then Columbine happened the next day. So someone reported my day before post as like goading Columbine. I didn't do that. So I got kicked off AOL. I got reported. My parents kicked me off AOL. And then I came back. I got kicked off like a year. Or at least I think my parents restricted me for that long. I came back. My new screen name, Fat Matt Strikes Back.
That was
I came back. Yeah, I came back.
Oh, yeah. Like the Jedi or whatever. Return of the Fed-Eye.
See, I got kicked off of AOL, man. It sucked. That was the shit. After school, just putting up your chats. There's the girls in your class. You'd be like, yo, what's up? Awesome. Did you do that?
Did that,
you didn't do
dude.
the AOL chat, the instant messenger?
No, I don't know what I did. I usually just went home and felt bad about myself for a couple hours. But But yeah, I would have probably rather do it online to other people. But then we started this podcast. So that's how we do it now.
Well, you could go back then. You would do on instant messenger when it was time for dinner. You put like an away message. You'd be like, you come up with something cool like, "Yo, I'm not here right now. I'll be back."
Yeah, at the mall.
Yeah, at the mall. Did you crush the mall too when you were younger?
Have to go to work. Dude, we used to go camp outside of the mall because it was about the mall was probably 17 miles away. It was kind of near this Pizza Hut. And
damn.
We would go camp out there. So we go on Saturday, bring a tent, camp out, and go back in Sunday morning and just do everything that they had in there. They had all types of shops for a while. They had what was that one that had all the like stuff for like kids kind of like or like weird shit? It would have like a lava lamp and then like
Spencer's
pride flag. Yeah.
Spencer's. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can get like a dildo. They just sold like dildos and lava lamps and like attitude posters and shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It was like, you can do it, and then to be a dildo. And you're like, that isn't even, what is this about? You know?
They had like gag gifts. You can get like the small pecker condom, which was like a teeny tiny condom and like hand it to someone. They'd be like, "Oh, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Why'd you do this to me?"
It was the worst. Yeah, or you could get like a condom that had like pepper on it. Just shit that was like, and you'd see somebody cutting one up into like a bowl of chili or something. Like, nobody knew how you used some of the products there, dude.
Yeah, Spencer's was like blacklight alien posters, like wildly sexual gifts.
Yeah.
And it was It did well, man. That store was around forever.
They had, I believe they had some racial gifts too.
I would imagine.
One time I saw a hat there. I remember this anyway. I saw a hat. It said the N word on the front, right? On the back, it said "just joking" across the back. And I'm like, first of all, and we're like trying them on or whatever. And I'm like, the odds of, first of all, if someone sees the front, they're going to get pissed, right? Yeah, the last thing you want to do to that person is show them the back, turn your back to them, dude. They're going to beat the shit.
Mid-punch, like, "Oh shit, my bad. I know you're just fucking around." Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, what happened to Spencer's? Let's find that out because that is...
I feel like they got bought by Hot Topic, maybe.
I feel like that also sounds like just two gay dudes that fall. Like, hey, Spencer and Hot Topic are fucking, flailing it out over there.
I used to work in the mall. It's like for real. It's like a subculture. If you're a mall employee, you talk to the other mall employees, and you guys like trade discounts with each other. Mm-hmm. I worked at a candy stand in the mall for like 3 months. I had a bad thing.
I want to know more about it. I want to know what happened to Spencer's real quick, just so we have this
go ahead, please.
Spencer's Gifts was founded in 1947 in Easton, Pennsylvania by Max Spencer as a mail order catalog, which sold an assortment of novelty merchandise. Wow. The company moved all mail order and fulfillment operations to Atlantic City, New Jersey in 1960.
You still have 650 stores.
Wow.
Whoa. Seagram bought them.
Oh, they acquired Spirit Halloween, which is a seasonal retailer. That all makes sense.
Spirit of Halloweens are a nice hustle. You open up for like 3 months, make like probably $70,000 and just shut them down.
Yeah.
I've been peeping those out for a while.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting into something like that.
That would be nice, man. They're cheap. They cost nothing. You can use them year after year after. They don't spoil.
Yeah, but then you have a garage full of Freddy masks all year, and you can't park you don't know where to park your car.
You need a big storage space. It is fucked up to have that many Freddy masks. That many bloody plastic butcher knives. True, that would be kind of damaging.
The worst part is, dude, imagine you coming in, you're drunk a little bit, right? Or pilled up or whatever. Or people in your family are pilled up, or your pilled up son drives into the driveway, right? He hits a couple of the boxes, dude. And one of the boxes is those ghosts that's like,
that might scare him straight.
And the whole fucking box just starts making that sound.
Oh my God, that'd be terrifying.
We did the mash.
Just motion activated. Just a chorus of
your
skulls.
car hits a box and it fucking just activated it, dude. And it's like 40 of those bats just singing the graveyard smash.
Dude, if you can't, especially like a lot of warehouses, the businesses go out of business, and then it's like, if you're like renting warehouses, they're always full of like a shit of a failed business. So you could be like a dark warehouse by yourself and like, what is this stuff? Yeah, and you just get motion activated on like 25 green-eyed cats.
Businesses are fucking gay, dude, I think, honestly.
Yeah, they suck, man. They do suck.
Yeah, think about it, dude.
They are.
Yeah.
I was totally, when I was younger, I was completely anti-business. I would work retail and I would steal. Unfortunately, I would never do that now, but I used to steal badly from. If I liked the person, I wouldn't steal. If they were mean, I'd be like, all right, then we'll see about this. And I could figure every place has like a giant loophole on the cash register. Like there would be like a thing where it's like free baby cone. If like a baby comes up, give them a free cone. But if anything rang up to exactly like $20 or $25 where you didn't have to make change, you could just hit free baby cone. And then when you go to the register, just crumple it all up and like stuff it in your shoe. It was bad. It was very bad. I feel bad about that.
Have you ever gone and made peace with those people or seeked them out?
No, because they were my enemies. They were for real were my enemies. So
What kind of place was it?
One ice cream shop, Brewster's.
These are fucking good people, dude.
Well, the manager, they were great. They were fine. The candy place, they were for real dickheads. They only wanted high school girls working there. And then there was a manager who did a bunch of the place was called like Scoop Nuts, which is kind of funny. But there was this lady hired me. She had like put in sweat equity, all of this stuff, and she was saying like they were trying to like get rid of her. You know, again, it's all allegedly. I don't want the Scoop Nuts franchise to attack me, but finally,
it's all rumors.
It's all rumors. But finally, the owners came in and they were just being like, "Who hired you? Why are you here?" And I was like,
"Look, I'm Matt."
Yeah, dude. Like I'm trying to make money. Like I'm trying to make a living like everybody else, dude. I need gas money. And then from then on, because when I thought the lady owned it, I was straight as an arrow. When those two dudes came, they were like, the lady was like, "They're fucking me. You know, this sucks. This is bullshit. I'm so sorry." I was like, no problem. I knew my time was limited, so I cashed up big time.
Yeah, how much did you take from him, you think? Or allegedly take from him, if you even did it?
I mean, it would have been, at the time, it seemed crazy because I would leave with like $70 a shift and be like, holy fuck.
That's a lot,
Yeah,
dude.
I was crushing them. I was getting after it. I was getting after because that register, you just typed up, you weighed it and typed the amount. So I'd be like, it would weigh at a certain thing and I was just taxing it.
Who would order $70 worth of nuts? An
It
elephant?
wouldn't be, it'd be like everything was $5 to $10, but then I could just be like $2.50. I could just type it in the register.
Baby cone, baby cone, baby cone.
Cut the fucking weight in half too. I feel bad. If they ever reached out, I'd obviously.
Just say it to him now. You can talk right into that camera.
I got it, man. I probably owe them like $500. Which in high school is a lot. If you're rolling
That's
with like
insane amount of money. That's what I'm saying back then. Now that's like almost 20, 30,000.
True.
With inflation, dude, you fucking.
I bought a house. I bought my first house off of it.
You have a boat. It says nuts scooped on the back of it. That's the name of it.
But they, they were probably fine guys. I was just getting information. And when you're 17, you don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I unfortunately.
But you know if you should steal or not.
Yeah, I was bad on that. That was my fault. That was, for real, that was a weakness of mine. Theft was a weakness.
Dude, I love to steal. What was it about stealing, man? I would try to let me think of some things that I stole. Dude, I stole a buddy of mine's boxer shorts one time. He had some nice ones, right? They were from like Gap or something. Or like, I don't even know what they had. I think they had, or something. I think they was from Gap or maybe was made out of silk.
Oh
God, it was nice. That fucking, yeah.
I had a pair of them. They're nice.
And silk to even, it must have probably took 70,000 spiders to make these fucking boxes, right? Like it was stunning. And I stole them and then wore them to his fucking house. And he's like, dude, those are my boxers. And I was like, no, these aren't. Dude.
No way, dude.
I was like, you're crazy. And then he was always like, I don't know if he was gay, but he was always trying to take them off of my body.
True. That is fucked up. He was trying to do that.
Yeah, so that's
So you guys were just getting changed and he was like, yo, those are mine. You're like, yo, stop looking at my dick, bro. This is crazy.
Yeah, he would try to take them off me. I'm like, even if I'm a thief, dude, that doesn't mean you should be gay.
True. Yeah. Two wrongs don't make it right.
Yeah, dude. So it's just that kind of activity in the community was kind of changing the scope in our area.
I had a dude who, I knew of a guy who, his friend had stolen something similar. His friend had stolen his favorite T-shirt or something he really liked, and he's stolen it. And he was like, "Give it back to me." His friend wouldn't give it back. He's like, "Fuck you!" Blah, blah. Like they're like messing around. And this dude went into his house, and the kid had a hot sister, and he stole a pair of the sister's panties, and then went to the dude and was like, "Yo, I fucked this chick. Check it out," and hit the panties, and he went, "Awesome." And then he's like, "I never told him." Yeah, he's like, oh. It's so diabolical. He told me, I was like, I mean, you definitely won that battle, but I was like, that's a heavy cost. That's a heavy cost to win the war.
And that's the kind of shit that's happening in Gaza, dude.
It needs to stop. Yeah, we need to send force right now.
What the crazy thing is over there, it's like, I don't know. I don't know enough about it. I need to have people on that know about it.
Yeah, but the problem is usually they take one side. So then you're
right,
just
maybe they'd have one of each.
Then they just fight. Dude, this guy, do you know Destiny? He's on every podcast.
Separate eepisodes.
Yeah, it's him. Yeah, true. He's on separate episodes. But you get like two really fast talking guys and they just like go on these like the Abraham Accords of 1974. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
You're just kind of like, I can't tell who's winning right now. It's tough.
Separate episodes, I think, is what I need because I want to know more
yeah,
about
that
it.
makes okay. I thought you were saying he's on everyone. Yeah, that
Yeah, I want to have two guys, separate episodes. Yeah, just because I want to know more about it. It just feels fucked up, like in my heart. Like if I ask my heart what's going on here, it's like Palestine. You got to free Palestine. I don't know how though. It's like you have to, or I know that's just the term, but it's like, I don't know because it doesn't seem like they're bad guys.
no.
But then there's the October 7th, and that's horrible.
Well, the problem is the Hamas distinction's tough because then the Hamas they say hides within the civilian population, but then the civilian population elected Hamas. But then if you like look into why, it's like they got like bombed terribly, so they're like, all right, well then fuck you.
Right.
Yeah, man, it's one of those things. It's like, dude, and apparently there's like other genocides going on too. That's not the only one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's some other terrible wars going on. I could be wrong, but I think there's some other ones as well.
Yeah.
So there's a lot. There's a lot of them. I think they're always going on too, which is terrible.
Oh, there's one in Wyoming?
Manipur.
Genocide warning in Manipur, India.
Okay,
Armenia.
Israel Hamas is up there. Genocide Watch, Turkey's obstruction of aid to Kurds.
Genocide Alerts. This is currently from genocidealerts.com. That's a website.
It's kind of, who bought
Like,
that?
this is fucking unbelievable.
Imagine if you bought
What
that in
kind
like
of
20.
world do we live in? Does this show up on your Whoop bracelet or something? This is unbelievable that we have a website called Genocide Alerts now.
That's
So you wake up
crazy.
in the morning and you check genocide emergencies and warnings 2024, current alerts, Israel, Hamas, and Gaza, Manipur, India.
I'm looking for the PayPal link at the bottom.
Yeah.
That would be be like, send $5 and we'll keep fighting these. Yeah, dude, there's more. Oh, that's 2022. Okay, so there's not too many. Just
But I just wonder,
Azerbaijan.
I wonder if we get accurate news about it too, though. That's the thing.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty tough, man. It's like coming out of usually some sort of dictatorship on one side or the other. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Like, if you ask me about like Texas politics, I'm like, I don't know. I have no clue.
You need to know it. Today's episode is sponsored by Prize Picks. That's how you pick them. If you like firing on sports, like I do, Prize Picks is the best daily fantasy sports app for you. What I like about it is that it's unique. You can fire on all your favorite sports like NBA, UFC, NHL, and many more. But instead of choosing teams, you choose individual players. Now, each player has a set projection, and you either choose more or less than the set projection. For example, if you think Luka Doncic is going to have more than 17 rebounds, then you're like me. While if you think Josh Hart is going to have less than 9 points, you would choose that. If you are smart with sports and you know what players are going to perform on what nights, Prize Picks is the best app for you. Download the app and use code Theo. Prize Picks will match your deposit up to $100. You can get in there, you can pick them, and you can enjoy it. That's Prize Picks. Pick them and enjoy it. This episode is sponsored by Blue Chew. That's right. Let's talk about sex, fellas. If you're having sex, some of you aren't. You can take Blue Chew as well. You don't have to be engaging in sex. You can just take them and watch your body work, baby. Remember the days when you were always ready to go? Now you can increase your performance and get that extra confidence in bed. I'm talking about BlueChew.com. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but in chewable tablets and at a fraction of the cost. The best part, it's all done online. So no doctor's visits, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. Does it work? Yep. Do you think you need it? It's up to you. But I like popping them and chewing my way to some decent wiener. You can do it. Blue Chew wants to help you have better sex, and we've got the special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code Theo at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code Theo, to receive your first month free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast. Matt McCusker, you're a podcaster and a comedian.
Yeah.
Well, you started out obviously working in ice cream. You
Ice
started
cream,
out working in
theft.
Theft, yeah.
Yeah, it was theft, ice cream, retail. No, I
What
started,
retail do you work out at?
It was really just Brewster's and the candy place. My family did construction, so I did more construction growing up, but it was like, I got a couple retail. I kind of did almost I worked in an office for a couple months, did retail, did construction, pizza delivery. Did pizza delivery. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty chill.
Pizza delivery was pretty crazy, dude.
Yeah, I was delivering pizza in a bad neighborhood too, and that's like scary as fuck. I had multiple instances where I had to like same time a pie with the cash. It was crazy. It was yeah, it was not good. I used to cook. I was the cook too, so I would cook. I was there by myself. I would cook, and then I would lock the store, then go deliver a pizza, and have to like think, all right, well, let me see that. And it was crazy. It was unbelievable.
You're basically a one-man business. Why were you working for somebody else?
It was my cousin's shop. He started a pizza shop, dude. And I was like, yeah, I'll do it. And I had quit the office job. I was at a sales job, and I quit that. I was like, dude, I can't do this anymore.
Did you ever sell telemarketing? Did you ever sell
yeah.
like Tony Little Gazelle freestylers to people on like, my buddy used to do that. My buddy had to work for his dad one summer, and his dad owned like a call center, and he had to call and sell with those Tony Little.
He was doing those.
Dude, he had to sell Tony Little Gazelle freestylers, dude. And it's basically just like, it's almost like it's like a swing set for people who could be, and I don't like to say this word out loud, but retarded.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's a swing set. It's like a bipedal swing set for people that could be retarded. It's like for people that are afraid to ski, right? It's basically, it's like this. So it's like wives that want to
those things.
It's like so you can practice as a wife leaving your husband. It's like that's how you would go, right? It's like every wife that wanted to leave their husband, if they were afraid, they would just get on this for an hour.
Yeah, he would just Pied Piper them away.
And
Yeah, that
so
thing's crazy.
My buddy had to cold call people and try to sell it to them. So, dude, but also they had numbers that would go in that people would call in, and we would call in all the time, dude.
Oh my
and he had to do
God.
like a 30-second preamble right when you call, dude. And he would do it, and we'd be like, quit. And then he would like,
Did you ever do a call center?
no, man, I worked at, we had a pizza place too. I worked at one called BJ's, and then there was another one, Born Again Christians. It was a pizza,
Dude,
like
that's nice.
it was pretty cool. It was like this church had started a little Italian pie area. Dude, I sold Italian food door to door with a dude, right? There was this guy my mom went on a date with. And he was like, he wasn't even Italian. He just had a mustache. Like, that's kind of the part of the South we were in. Like, if somebody had a mustache, they were Italian. We're like, what do you mean? He's fucking has a cleft palate. Yeah. So anyway, but I had to go door to door with him, and I was just like his assistant or something. I would get like $2, but he would just sell like Italian, like frozen stuff to wives or whatever. And then, dude, I swear sometimes I kind of remember this. He would just leave me alone and I know he was like talking to these wives, like just like dirty business. But let's get into it. I sidetracked it. So Matt, so that's what you were working in.
Yeah, I was doing, I grew up mainly doing construction with odd jobs, and then I went to school for psychology, and then I tried to, I dropped my psychology major and then switched to business just because my friends were in business. So I was like, I'm going to go chill with my friends. So I switched my whole major to be in class with my friends.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't good. It wasn't a good idea. Looking back on it, I'm like, damn, I fucked up. Because psychology, like, you got to go to school for like 7 more years. And I was fuck that. Like, all my friends were in business. I'm like, I'm just going to do that. So I was like, I'm going to go to school for business. And I assumed if I went to school for business, I'd automatically make $100,000 a year. This is what I told myself. I'm like, yeah, I'll make 100 G's for sure. And then like 2008 came, the real estate market collapsed. But I started doing stand-up when I was like 23 in Philly.
Okay.
So I would do it. What I would do is I'd do stand-up for like 6 months, and I'd be like, fuck this and stop. Do it for like 9 months, fuck this and stop. And I just did that forever and ever and ever. So, and then me and Shane started the podcast, and I had still been doing stand-up. Back then I was doing stand-up a lot. So I just got divorced.
Oh,
so
you did?
Yeah, I made a really, when I was younger, I was like 26 or 7. I like got engaged when I was younger, and I was like, no more of this bullshit or funny business. I'm gonna put my best foot forward and be a husband. And I just fucking failed, dude. Like, I couldn't do it. Like, I for real I just thought that's what you do. I'm like, yeah, it's time to, quit fucking around. I was like a personal trainer at LA Fitness. I was like selling weed. Like it was bad. It was bad, dude.
Damn, dude.
It was bad.
Wow. Well, you're entrepreneurial, it sounds like.
True. Yeah. My family are all entrepreneurial. My dad owned his own business. They all did their own thing. So I grew up with, that was just kind of drilled into me. Like you have to work for yourself.
Wow.
Yeah. Which is cool. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But they also, everyone works, like working 60 hours a week was like the norm. My dad was always like 40 hours is part-time. He's like, you do 40-hour weeks, you're a part-timer.
Yeah.
I was like, hell yeah.
Somebody said Jesus only worked like 30 hours a week.
Who said that?
Huh?
Who said that?
It's like pretty, bring it up. I know a lot of people
That's
have said
bullshit.
it. How many hours a week did Jesus work? Look it up.
30 kind of is the perfect.
Dude. Dude, I could tell you a lot of shit, dude. I heard, honestly, Frederick Douglass liked dudes, bro.
What?
Yeah. And nobody wants to say that shit.
Frederick Douglass. Damn, really?
Yeah.
Are you breaking it?
I don't want to out the dude, but free at last. I mean, hey.
It took me, I had to go through like my database of people. I thought at first you're talking about Michael Douglas. And then I went, oh, yeah, different guy.
Mm-mm.
Damn, he was
totally different guy.
Possibly fucking, way different. He was possibly fucking dudes. That's crazy. I mean, I get
It's not
it.
that crazy, though.
No, it's not.
Because think about it. If you're like, I'm going to do something different, I don't want to have slavery, right? I don't want to, I'm going to lead my people to a different direction.
Yeah.
And especially a lot of more men, I think. What percentage of slaves were males?
That's a good point. I never thought about that. Also, he was an outside the box thinker. He was,
Right.
So he was like, you know what else I might do?
Literally.
Okay. Whoa. It was 179. Damn, that's like
For every
China.
100 females.
It's like China.
So that's definitely a good way to meet dudes, probably.
Yeah. Sausage party.
So yeah, the Underground Railroad was a sausage party, dude.
It's fucking bullshit.
I don't think we can.
That's fucking bullshit. No, that's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, that is bullshit, dude, because, yeah, that's crazy. The fucking Underground Railroad was a sausage party. Oh, I bet dudes were hooking up, bro.
Probably, yeah. Once they got, especially going to like the East Coast, you get there. It's probably like liberal as hell back then. It's like liberal. It's probably very not at all, but yeah, that's fucked up. I didn't know the ratio was so off. I assumed it was 1-to-1.
Me too. Yeah, you just kind of think that. Isn't that funny? Your brain just kind of thinks that, you know?
But like, why? If you really think about that for like 2 more seconds, you're like, what happened? Like, there's a reason. Like, China has suppressed female births. You're like, how did that work out? There's no way they were being born at that rate of male to female.
Right. They just chose to suppress it.
Yeah, that's fucked up. Apparently in Rome, they used to just throw babies in the trash like nothing.
Huh.
In Sparta, there was like a badge of honor. If your kid came out like a little bit defective, you were supposed to just like toss them in the trash and everyone would be like, nice.
No way.
Because they're like, that's how we'll keep us strong. Yeah.
Well,
shout out to the Jews. The Jews were people back then who were like, that's wrong. And they didn't do it.
they would tell people not to do it?
Yeah. They're like, you don't throw kids out like that.
Dude, this Jewish lady used to drop her kids off at the McDonald's in our town and fucking they would stay there all day long.
Really?
Dude. Yeah. Those kids were there every day. And I think one of them was mentally disabled or something.
Oh, no.
So people were always saying that, like, he dropped them off there and it wasn't cool, you know?
Yeah, that's not nice at all.
But I think, yeah, even a couple of someone, I think more than one of them might have been mentally disabled. But also, most of our town was fucking mentally disabled, dude. Like, you don't realize when other people are like, mentally disabled people stay in one area and fuck, you know?
Yeah.
So all that's going to happen over time of that area is just like a quagmire of intellectual cul-de-sacking, you know?
Yeah, dude. Especially when you find out about like Asperger's. I've come to the it was like brought to my attention. I kind of believe my one cousin. I think my entire family has Asperger's. Like my entire, like a touch of it.
Oh,
And like she explained this, and I was like, "Damn, dude, you're right. We all have Asperger's."
yeah.
And I was like, kind of, it's good to know. Not, I'm not trying to jump on the bandwagon, but it's like, I'm talking about like just a tiny spider bite. Like a little, we definitely.
Just
and it's
enough.
Like, just enough, dude.
Just some fucking freckles on the cerebellum.
Yeah. Because we go to family parties, it's just data dumps. It's just like you're sitting there like waiting to tell someone what you're into, and they're like, "Oh, this week I actually did like I paved a patio," and everyone's like, "Oh, cool, actually my podcast," and everyone just data dumps on each other, and everyone's like, "All right, later," and goes home.
Yeah, I feel that, dude. It's
Tight. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, it's definitely, times are changing, things are blurring. I mean, we have illegal aliens are going to be the lifeguards at the swimming pool. That guy's crazy, dude. I almost fucking love the dude now, though. He's like, we have so many open lifeguard positions and, so many good swimmers that are illegal aliens.
Dude, it's such a funny... Yeah, he didn't even have to go into that detail. He could have been like, yeah, we're going to open it up. Apparently, I read a book and they said we're going to have to start actually enticing immigrants. Once the baby boomers die, RIP, we're going to have a huge population dip. So our immigration policy in like 2040 will most likely be us begging immigrants to come or competing with other countries who have severe population dips. Like Europe, Canada, China is going to get crushed. We're going to be courting immigrants from like Africa and Latin America.
Really?
And be like, please come here. Yeah, that's what the guy said.
That blows my mind.
The population dip's going to be crazy. In like 40 years, they said there's going to be houses are just going to drop because we have so many houses. Once baby boomers, there's so many more baby boomers than the other generation. So,
but what are you talking about? Because people have been saying that overpopulation is going to be an issue.
That's the thing. It's not at all. It's not going to be whatsoever.
Well, this is the first time I'm hearing of that.
Yeah, it's kind of good news. I mean, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, but it's also, I'm just realizing that the last time I heard it was somebody just told me it, and then now you're just telling me this. So it's like...
I'm telling you, overpopulation is a myth. We're not going to
look it up. Is it over? What are we doing right now? Overpopulation or underpopulation? According to the U.S. Census Bureau, the civilian non-institutionalized population has grown at a rate of 1.1% over the past 40 years.
Yeah, that's baby boomers.
Okay.
And then once they die, the developing world is still having kids like that, but all of like... Canada, Europe, Asia, like any developed country has maybe 1 to 2 kids per household. And the baby boomers are having like 5. So you just do that math and it's just like the population just spikes.
The brothers are smashing though, dude. A lot of them are definitely having some fucking kids.
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely, but they're on average. But yeah, they're crushing it.
And the Mexies are smashing, dude.
Smashing up. They should.
Yeah.
They should.
Oh, definitely, dude. I don't know how they do it. Usually if I come home from a hard day's work, the last thing I want to do is fucking smash, you know?
It's tough.
I don't even want to jerk off sometimes. That's how sad I am.
After a hard day of work?
Yeah, it's like I won't even jerk myself off. It's like...
Yeah.
But I guess that's good, probably. There's nothing sadder than somebody jerking off, kind of.
Yeah, it's weird, especially before work. Jerking off before work is just like... It's pretty tough.
First of all, if you do that, your Whoop bracelet should let the cops know. There's no reason.
They track you like the COVID tracker. Everyone's phone dings like this guy just fapped. Yeah. That would be terrible.
There's no way we're far from that, though. Dude, once they get something in our body that can detect, like, because we don't do a lot. We're hungry. We jerk off. We have cancer, right? It's like, we're not doing a lot of crazy shit, you know?
They could figure, and with your phone data, I'm paranoid still. Because they say they're just looking, they're like tracking your facial expressions and what you're looking at all times.
Damn.
Takes one rogue engineer to be like, bang, got him. And you're just, you on your camera like, with what you're looking at, just print it out and they can be like, bam.
Oh, they watched you watch porn, you mean?
I mean, they could. Apparently, all of our data is being watched, but it's being watched in mass. But you would think, like, if I'm Zuck, I could definitely be like, okay, where is he at? And get, like, your IP address. And if you give them your IP address, they can go on your computer from their computer.
I'm just changing mine then.
Yeah. You gotta use a VPN, I guess, but...
Yeah, but the VPNs, a lot of them are made by Facebook and those companies.
Yeah, that makes sense. That was like...
Of course they're going to make a VPN.
Remember Signal and all those? Like, did you ever use those like burner phone apps on your phone?
Yeah, I still use them.
So those apparently, there was one in Europe that was like it was like the app to use if you're up to like no good, and it was just set up by the government, and they caught people like committing murders and ordering hitmen and shit. So like, yo, we got a safe line. I need you to kill a guy, and the government just collected all of it and just busted everybody. It makes no sense because people who sell drugs are like, hit me up on Signal, and you're like,
yeah.
Dude, they can get this. They're like, no, it's encrypted. It's like, yeah, I guess, man.
The craziest thing that happened on Signal, I got on a Signal one time. Someone was like, you got to get on Signal. And I accidentally hit the thing where it's like, let all your contacts know you're on Signal or whatever. So, dude, I got for like 4 days. People were like, what are you up to? Just crazy shit, huh?
It is funny to see whose turn. When you open Signal, you see who of your contacts are in Signal. You're like, all right, that's what's up. You just get to find out who's living kind of a seedy, doing something seedy.
Yeah, who's willing to risk it all.
Yeah. You know? Yeah, there's like Signal, WeChat, but yeah, that's That is a funny thing. People just have total faith and like hit me up on Signal. You're
Yeah.
Like, all right, man.
But dude, imagine you're screaming for help in a pool and the guy who fucking is supposed to help you doesn't even speak English, dude. He thinks you're just doing a fucking TikTok dance or something.
I mean, they'd probably be on it though. They would probably jump down. Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm all in favor of that because I've been burnt too many times by lack of lifeguards. But
Yeah.
it's just, God damn it, that it's such a strike politically. It's just such a strange cause. It's like, all right, bro, I feel you. We can get into lifeguarding.
Yeah.
But we have where I live. There's no lifeguards. We have like neighborhood pools.
Really?
No lifeguards. It's pretty tight.
Yeah, going to a pool by yourself. Dude, I remember, being at a pool by myself once, and I think I got nervous or whatever, so I went to masturbate. They had like a little pool house in there, you know?
Yeah.
And some guy peeked in the bathroom when I was in there.
What?
Yeah, and then I was like, oh my God, dude, it made me so nervous. And then I had to go back out. It was just me and him just swimming in the pool together for a while, dude.
No.
Yeah, this dude would just blatantly see me masturbating in
man.
in Atlanta.
I will say jerking off fresh out the pool kind of hits different. If you get out of a pool and you jerk off, it's slightly different. Something that has to do with like getting a lot of sunlight and then jerking off. I swear by this.
Ooh.
Like leaving the beach at like lunchtime.
To jerk off, that's insane. Whoop bracelet. That is.
I've done it. I'll be honest, I've done
dude,
it.
What?
It's crazy, dude. Your skin's all warm. It's nice.
Yeah, I guess there is different cool times to do it, huh?
Yeah.
To a full moon. People used to do it a lot when I was growing up.
Full moon would be nice.
That would be definitely the day after that. People would be just warped. Fucking just did like, gave it all they had.
They're howling.
So how did you meet Shane? Because you and Shane started Matt and Shane's Secret Podcast, which is last year was the highest grossing podcast on Patreon.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's insane.
It's unbelievable.
But when you start them, you check the data and like, oh my God. And then at one point you just stop checking and you see you're number one. You're like, what the fuck? It's surreal. But we met, so we were both doing stand up. It was 2014. I had won Philly's Funniest. He comes 2015, so I'm like thinking I'm hot shit.
A white guy, the Caitlin Clark of Philly, huh?
Yeah.
I love
he
it.
came in, and I think he won it 2015. So we met in 2014. Wow. I just won it. I'm like really feeling myself. So I'm at a show. It's funny because I'm like, dude, this is crazy. So then I go to a show. It's above an ice cream parlor. So I'm just I'm lording out above the ice cream parlor. Like
leveling up, literally.
Yeah. It was funny too because I think the owner was crazy. It was a whole debacle. But so he had just moved from Harrisburg, and no one knew who he was. So he came from Harrisburg, and I'm watching him, and he was headlining. And
Somebody come on a horseback or something? I mean, the story of Shane Gillis has to be.
Well, it was crazy because, again, never seen him ever in my life.
Yeah.
Watching him do stand-up in 2014, and I'm going, holy fuck, this dude is so fun. And back then, I remember specifically, he did a joke. I don't remember what it was exactly. It was a very sensitive topic. Lost the crowd. And I was like, oh, I guess he's done. Dude, 2 minutes later, crowd's cracking up. He brought him back, and I was like, whoa. And then we started talking after that.
Like that famous Burr said in Philly.
It was crazy. And then we like started talking after the show. I was like, dude, that was awesome. And then he showed me a video of a guy getting eaten by a bear. And then I showed him a video of a guy jumping off a roof, and we totally clicked up. So that was for real. That's how we met. And then we got a house together with a couple other comedians like pretty shortly afterwards.
See, and girls say guys are hard to figure out. I feel like it's like, meet me above an ice cream parlor.
That's what I'm saying.
Show me a video of something eating something else. I'll show you a video of an animal attacking something.
Dude, and we're good.
And let's start a family.
Yeah, and I was like freshly divorced, air mattress. I think actually we met before I'd gotten totally divorced.
Did you lose a lot of stuff in the divorce?
I had nothing.
Fuck
yeah, I always hear people like, oh,
we'll show her.
She took so much from me. And I'm like, bro, I had it was embarrassing. I wish I lost stuff in the divorce, dude. I had nothing.
You're still sending her stuff every now and then.
I should, man. It was real. It's fucked up. But I just didn't have anything. But
Do you remember the day you left in the divorce? Like,
dude, it's the saddest day. It's for real the saddest. Because she was a nice lady. Like,
she sounds beautiful.
She was a very nice lady. I couldn't do it, dude. Like, it was one of those things where I was living a life that it wasn't my life. That's the only way I can explain it. Like, I was meant to do other stuff. I could feel it. And it was just like, I tried my best to get jobs. And like, I'm like, dude, I can go the straight and narrow. Just get a regular job. That's all I wanted to do. My dad was like that. Like, have work at a place, come home, have kids. I was all for that. I just couldn't. I was like warped. I couldn't do it. I tried. So
you really tried. You made as much of an effort as you could.
As I could, but I learned I was severely handicapped in terms of like relating to, like, I didn't, you don't realize how bad it is until you like live with a woman for, a couple years.
Handicapped at what? I'm sorry, I stepped on you.
Like emotional relation and trying to like see things from other people's perspectives. Like I was totally unequipped. But the day I left Frill was one of the saddest. It was like the saddest things ever. It was like, I was crying.
Where were you?
I was in Roxborough, so in Philadelphia, like just some area of Philly. It was cool. I liked the house. We had a dog. We had a dog together.
Fuck. And who did the dog come in your car or stayed?
It stayed. It was her dog. It was her dog first, to be fair. But yeah, she was really nice, man. It was just.
Did you talk about taking the dog?
No, man, I wasn't gonna do that. That would have been heartless to be like.
When you said bye, like, was there a hug? What was that kind of like final kind of moment like?
Just sad. It was just like. Goodbye,
Did she come out and walk you out, or you said bye inside?
She was kicking around, so it was kind of like there was a last glance, and it was for real. It was like it's etched into my memory as one of like the saddest days of my life because I had never really felt anything about stuff like that. Like my relationships before that were like, I would just develop a girlfriend. Like we would just be like hooking up, and then I'd be like, oh fuck, I got a girlfriend, and then, it was like very, very disassociated. I just go through the motions. This I was like trying to put my best foot forward. That was like the first time I really like. I was like, oh, I get what people are talking about, like with. Experiencing like serious heartbreak and all that stuff.
Just burnt you down.
Yeah, it crushed me. For real, it fucking crushed me.
Were you crying before you got in the car, or did you?
I was crying. I was crying on the way when I left. I wasn't crying before I got in the car, and then I was crying on the way.
It's hard to get the key in the thing sometimes if you're really fucking crying.
Yeah, dude, I was crying.
And get in reverse and all that shit.
It was brutal.
I'll wait till I'm in forward before I cry.
Yeah, and then I had to walk the dog every day because I was like, look, I'll come up and walk the dog while you're at work. Like, I didn't want her to stress about anything. So I would
came back.
Go back into the house during work. No one would be there, and I'd walk the dog, and it was just consumed with guilt and just horrible feelings.
Just wandering through your old life like a fucking ghost.
Yeah,
huh?
for real. And I love the dog too.
And the dog did the dog know, you think?
I don't know. It was definitely pumped to see me. It was always kind of pumped to see me, but I don't know. I couldn't tell.
Sounds like it was maybe an SAE or something.
What's the SAE?
Sigma Alpha Epsilon. It just sounds like the dog was in a frat or something. Like it didn't have any fucking. Just pumped to see you guys. It was fucking.
It was pumped.
Okay,
I would take it for a nice walk.
It's definitely a pike or.
It's definitely a pike. Yeah. But yeah, it was for real. It was a big eye opener for me though, man. That's when I started being like, okay, like there's. Because when you're younger, you're just so in your own head where you're like, I'm the only person with feelings that matter in this world. And then you like really encounter like the depths of somebody else's, and you're like, oh, this is like serious to like just fuck around with people's lives. So that was a big eye opener for me. So I did the air mattress on my brother's house for a while.
That's heavy, dude. It reminds me, I was in love with a girl in high school, right? When I was a senior, and I was in there, and I remember I decided I was going to go away to school at the University of Arizona. And some people, where I'm from, had never even heard of Arizona, right? They didn't believe in it. People like, I showed it on a map, and they just, they just called me a map faggot, Like, it was crazy, some of the stuff that was happening. And I remember just like, she and I were like crying, like in her living room or whatever.
Yeah.
Her mom let me, this was crazy. Her mom let me stay over the last night I was there, right? But her mom's like, no funny business. You guys can sleep in the same room, like in the family room, right?
What's that about?
I don't know, dude, but here's the crazy part. So anyway, somebody started some funny business, and then I'm walking to go get some water or something, or get some piss out of my wiener or something.
Yeah.
And her mom's sitting right there in a chair.
What?
Yeah. Fuck, man. Still feel horrible about that. And you could see that my wiener was still like wienering.
Yeah, you were pumped up. Yeah. Oh, God.
My wiener was like, dude. It's a party, it's a party, it's a party. And I was young,
say anything?
Huh?
Did you say anything?
No, but I still feel how she felt.
Yeah.
I can still feel it. But she loved me. The mom loved me. And so she had like some respect for me. She knew that I really loved her daughter.
That's warped though, that she knew what you guys were, she has to have some sense.
But at least she was close enough there in the distance, almost like a bird mom, Like, hey, I'm going to hang, you can stay in the nest, but I'm going to be right here on the branch.
Oh my God.
Just in case anybody falls out and breaks a wing or something.
True, you should get rushed in and like, yo,
yeah,
slow
just
down.
in case somebody fucking, tries to put a worm in the wrong place, But what happened was then the next day, I told her bye at like this gas station. It was this big sad thing, and we were both like bawling, crying, dude. And,
yeah, fuck.
And then I drove off, and my fucking car overheated like 600 feet from the gas station, dude. And I had to fucking call her dad to come help me, dude.
That fucking sucks. Because when your car overheats, you think if I drive faster, it starts to cool down your engine.
Yeah.
But yeah, that shit sucks. That's embarrassing.
Oh, it was horrible, dude. I remember pouring cold water through the fucking air vents trying to get it in that way.
I've tried to do that a bunch of times. It sucks, man. It just drips out.
Just that shit of just that heartbreak, dude.
I had a real low point the one day when Shane was laughing about this when I was telling him, but I had a real low point driving home the one day from walking the dog. I'm crying. I would cry every day. I'm crying on the way home, driving down Kelly Drive. And that's like in Philly, that's a big like outdoor green area. People jog up and down there. And some dude had really short shorts on. And I stopped at a light and he like looked in the car and I looked at him and was like, yeah, I was crying.
Oh, that's the Philadelphia national anthem, dude. I know. Calling some other dude a
well, he was like looking in the car and I was like, what are you looking at? Like trying to slam his shorts and I was just visibly bawling and I was like, it's a low point. I remember just being like, what the fuck was that all about, dude?
Dude, a straight dude crying, that's a hot dude to a gay dude, bro.
True. He was probably just a dude wearing regular athletic gear. He might not even been gay.
Yeah, that's true.
I like to think I didn't hate crime a guy while I was crying, but I think he was straight. The guy was straight as hell. The guy was so straight. He said short shorts on.
Dude, I
was fucking crying.
Yeah. Oh, obviously he's in the wrong.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember one time I was driving and I'd been drinking, right? Because I think it was daytime or whatever. And I'm cruising and the cop had pulled somebody else over on the side of the road. And he sees me, literally, I think he was just drinking out of a Taka vodka bottle. No shirt, dude, right? Just ripping it in a 1984 Ford Escort that had the passenger seat stolen out of it, right? So anyway, I'm cruising, dude. He points at me. He's like, pull over, dude.
Yeah, right.
He's like, he's dealing with that ticket. So I pull over, right? And then I'm like, fuck this, dude. I'm out of here. And then I just pulled off, dude.
You got away?
Yeah, they never caught me.
It's funny. He was like, yes, come here. I'm going to give you a DUI when I'm done with this. Dude, a lot of guys get away from cops. I've heard of a couple people like, nah, I just take off. And it's like, so I'm surprised. I thought everyone gets caught who does that. But yeah, people get away.
Yeah, a lot of cops want you to just get home safely, I think, in the end.
Yeah.
And sometimes they gauge on how to do it.
That's so funny just to be like, fuck this, I'm out of here.
You can be a better you in 2024 with Babbel, the science-backed language learning app that actually works. I've started using Babbel. I'm enjoying my time with it. I'm not fluent. I don't even think I could communicate if I got abducted or anything yet, but with my captors, but one day I'll be able to. Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons are handcrafted by over 200 language experts to help you start speaking a new language in as little as 3 weeks. Babbel's designed by real people for real conversations. Studies from Yale, Michigan State University, and others continue to prove Babbel is better. One study found that using Babbel for 15 hours is equivalent to a full semester at college. I believe that. I went to college and I didn't learn. Babbel has over 16 million subscriptions sold. Here's a special deal for our listeners. Right now, get up to 60% off your Babbel subscription, but only for our listeners at babbel.com/Theo. That's right. Get up to 60% off at babbel.com/THEO. That's BABBEL.com/Theo. Rules and restrictions may apply. You know, we got sued by Kai the hitchhiker. He came at us with all he had. He sent us probably 11 letters in the mail and different types of charts, all type of things. And he kept suing us and we kept beating him, and we used Morgan & Morgan. That's who did it. Thank you guys at Morgan & Morgan. They are America's largest injury law firm. They have over 100 offices nationwide and more than 800 lawyers. With over $15 billion recovered for over 300,000 clients, Morgan & Morgan has a proven track record of fighting to get you full and fair compensation. That's right. Morgan & Morgan have been fighting for the people for over 35 years, and they fought for us. If you're ever injured, have an injury, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. Their fee is free unless they win. For more information, go to forthepeople.com/thispastweekend or dial #law, #529 from your cell phone. That's FOR, thepeople.com/thispastweekend, or dial pound law, pound 529 from your cell. This is a paid advertisement. So you and Shane start the podcast. You met in Philly, and Shane, you and Shane start the podcast in Philly or
in Philly, yeah, in Philly. And then he at one point he went to New York because I like got to the space where I was like, I like podcasting better than stand up because I was just frustrated. We're in the same city all the time. I'm in Philadelphia doing the same shows all the time, and I'd like either host or feature. I think back then I might have been featuring. I forget, but it was like the same thing. I'd meet a headliner, they'd be miserable. And I'm like, is this my fate? Like, it's just like because a lot of the headliners I met hosting were for real miserable. Yeah. Like very sad, very disgruntled. And I'd be like, whatever. So I got disillusioned with stand up and I was like, I just want to do podcasting. And then at one point I was like, I want to pursue psychology. So when he went to New York, I went back and got my master's in social work because I did again. I was like, dude.
I think you dropped back in and got it.
Yeah. It's just the way my mind works. I was like, I want to get back into psychology. What's the easiest way to do it? To do like talk therapy. And I looked it up in social work. If you get your master's and then work under somebody, you can get licensed and open your own practice.
Wow.
So I went to school for social work while Shane was kind of blowing up in New York. And we're still doing the podcast.
You're still doing it what, by train or something every now and then?
He would come to Philly back then. Yeah, it was crazy.
That's hard.
It's insane because and then eventually I started driving to New York. But for a while, he was coming to Philly every week, and I was just kind of like, okay, cool. I didn't make that drive like that. So when I started driving to New York, I was like, dude, you were doing this for 2 years. This is insane.
He did it for a long time?
He did it for like a year or two.
No way.
Yeah, man. He's the man.
That is a hard thing. People don't understand that type of a commute. That's insane commute. I mean, how far is that commute?
2 hours on a good day. And if it gets traffic, you're kind of like 2 hours 33. Yeah, it sucks. It's a hellish, and it's through the worst parts of New Jersey, like heavy industrial. It stinks.
Oh yeah, dude.
It's awful. It's for real an awful, awful drive.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's 2 hours and 12. That's like normal. That traffic up there near like the bridges and shit. And then in New York, I'm sure you know, you just sit in fucking traffic.
Yeah, you just sitting there fucking furious, looking at somebody else, and that guy's crying, and he calls you a
the audacity, dude.
And he had the audacity.
It's crazy
To call you a fat. It's unbelievable.
He must have just laughed like, all right, man, whatever that guy's got going on.
Everybody nowadays just calls everybody a f***. It's like, I feel like if you try to do CPR, somebody's dying, right? And they'll be like,
hey, get off me.
They'd rather die. They'll use their last breath these days, especially in New Jersey, dude. Somebody will use their last breath to call somebody a f***.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, that was heavy, dude. F*** was polite back then. That was like that was like the handkerchief around your neck, being like, f***. That's like kind of.
Look at this beautiful. Huh?
But no, man. I went to school for social work, and then it was funny because I'm doing it, and I was kind of again like confronting the fact that like, oh, I can't really be in normal polite society because you go into you drop into like a regular like job type place, and you feel like an alien, especially the longer you do stand up and other things. It's like. You just feel out of place. So I did it, and I liked it. It was cool. It was a cool experience. But it was like very, like Jordan Peterson came out and was like, the schools are out of control. They're losing their... Dude, I also would watch a lot of Jordan Peterson at the time, and I was like, I'm kind of curious to see if that's real. And then when I went back to school, I was like, dude, he was totally right. It was insane.
Just how woke they gotten?
Oh, dude, it was great. Like you'd be in class, and a lady, for no reason, would just be like, we'd be talking about like social issues, and she'd be like, I would never call the cops on a black guy ever. And I'd be sitting there, and I'm like, I couldn't help it. I'd be like, ever? What if he was beating up a woman? Like, why ever? It's crazy. So I would get in a lot of those kind of arguments in school. And I'll
even text the cops if I'm even meeting a black guy sometimes.
The what?
I'll text the cops.
True. Just like, yo, just so you know.
Yeah. FYI, meeting a couple brothers, seems chill.
I'll keep you updated. Well, dude, it was crazy. I went there and they were just, it was that kind of stuff. And I'm like, all right, keep your head down and chill. But I couldn't help it. I kept like arguing with people in class. It was kind of fun, honestly. And then, they're like 24-year-olds being like, oh, this is what I think. And you'd be like, that's what you fucking, and you could just smash them.
Yeah, that's what you fucking think. I fucking worked at an ice cream parlor.
Yeah, dude, you don't know shit about the world. You ever fucking broken your heart in somebody else's? But no, then I did that. And then Shane got the SNL thing right at the tail end of my schooling.
And were you bummed about that or excited?
I was pumped. It was I've always been stoked like that. But when he got the SNL, I was like, hell yeah. And he goes, buckle up. They're going through the podcast. And I was like, I didn't know what he was talking about. I'm like, yeah, whatever. It's not that bad. And then that whole thing blew up. So I was like in school, like, because I would get mentioned in bylines of like podcasts with, and nobody put it together until towards the very end. A girl in my class had read the article and was like, "That's you," and they tried to kick me out of school.
That guy hates Chinese people or whatever.
Yeah, and all the proof was, I had been arguing against their, in my idea, it's kind of like unrealistic liberal value. So I'd been like, you guys don't know shit about anything. Fuck that. And I'd been arguing the flip side of their coin the entire time. So when they saw that, they're like, bingo. And they tried to kick me out. And then we had a
smoking gun, dude.
Yeah, they got me. But it was like, and then I had to stay. It was honestly one of my favorite experiences ever. I had to go before the board of the school, and I got to do one of those like trial by.
Ooh, that's cool, man.
Just other adults, dude. I've been looking forward to that. It's like
you wear a suit.
No, I just wore my regular clothes, but it's like that court fantasy where you get to like represent yourself in court.
Open your briefcase, nothing in there.
So I got to have that experience.
2 waters in there.
2 Fijis. So I got to do that, and then and then it was just like I finished. COVID happened, so like everything kind of just chilled. We finished the last month or so online anyway, so it was like that was cool.
Did you believe in COVID or not at the time?
No, I didn't. My whole family didn't either. Like my mom was like, let's hang outside that one time. And then after that, she was like, come inside. This is bull. None of my family got vaccinated. Like none of my mom, my uncles, nobody got it. Except for like anyone who worked in the medical field.
Dude, I had a buddy broke into a CVS and got like 30 inoculations, dude. He was addicted to inoculations or whatever, dude. This motherfucker hasn't had a sniffle in like 6 years, dude.
He's good. He's set.
Oh, this guy, yeah.
I was just sketched out by the whole thing. I was like, dude, it's new. I'm like a hypochondriac as it is, and I'm way less scared of viruses and like medical intervention. I don't know why.
I didn't think it was real.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, oh, people are really dying, so there must be something real. But then also it seemed like that they messed up and killed a lot of people with respirators that would not have died.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that. Yeah, did you get it?
I don't know if I got it or not. I remember I couldn't smell for about 11 months, but
really?
I don't know. But oh yeah, and I had the antibodies. When I went to Rogan's one time, I got tested. I had the antibodies, so I must have had it.
That's tight. Yeah, you probably got it at some point. But yeah, I got it. I got rocked. But it was only for like 2 days. It was a bad fever, and then I coughed up like weird liquids for like a month, and I was fine. So my wife was pregnant at the time, so I'm like...
Your wife was pregnant?
She was pregnant, so then it was kind of a medical experiment, like, should I get it? And like, I'm like, I don't know what this shit is, so we were all just like, dude, let's just chill.
Take a chill.
Let's get the fucking antibodies and just roll.
And you have, I've met you have a darker wife.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Safe to say that?
That's safe to say, yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful lady, very charming. Bridget, is that her name?
Brittany.
Brittany.
Yeah.
Brittany, is that her name?
Yeah.
Yeah, did like just growing up in Philly lead you to that, you think?
Dude, I don't
kind
know.
Of a chocolatey bride
since I was a little kid, it's almost, my only theory is, because in grade school, I like dated a Mexican lady. And I've dated everybody. I've dated, like white ladies, everything.
Yeah.
But that was definitely, that was something I was drawn to, or black women forever. But my only theory is my mom was like super Christian. She still is. Super Catholic, so she blocked like MTV, VH1, all the music channels
except for
BET, because she didn't know it existed. So that was the only music channel I had growing up. So in my formative years, I just watched rap video after rap video, and I think it might have had some sort of effect.
Yeah.
So that's
Bitch
my only
better
theory.
have my money. That's so interesting, dude. Yeah, dude. I remember I made love to a woman who was pretty much black.
Right.
And yeah, it was definitely, there was like more in the muscle or something. I don't know.
You felt you were impressed by the experience. What do you say? Pretty much. She was like,
She said she was black. I believed her.
True. True.
I'm not fucking looking at paperwork or whatever. I'm not fucking prove it.
Yeah, no.
My Whoop bracelet was like, black. It pops up on there.
Yeah, I just, what, for me, they definitely won out for me as well. They won my heart. Collectively, they won my heart.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know what it was, man. It was just like,
yeah,
you like what you like, And
yeah. I think I was afraid probably of black girls growing up. They had a lot of the black girls in our town and stuff would get knocked up by the black guys at a young age.
Yeah.
So all of our black girls disappeared at around 13 years old and got pregnant.
Yeah, and they come back and they're different.
And then they come back and they're just different, or they just like, Yeah, they have a child now, or they have like baby milk on their shoulder or whatever. And also, I think they had to defend themselves against black dudes in their town or whatever that were like trying to get with them when they were young. Yeah. So I think they were more into the whole like communicating with guys' nature. So I think like a lot of times they would. Like they were just more advanced. Like the black kids in our school were more sexually advanced. They just had sex earlier and stuff. So I think that was intimidating. The black girls were intimidating because they had more experience.
Yeah, it's funny. Sometimes you do talk to a black guy. He's like, I got head when I was 10. And you're like, what? Like, you're like, for real?
Yeah,
like,
sorry, dude.
Sorry, it's okay.
This place just went out of business. We're good.
It's true. You do hear that a lot. You're not wrong.
Sorry. Yeah.
You're fine. It is crazy.
Imagine getting head when you're, bro, if somebody put my wiener, okay, that God made for me that I kept in my pants for him, if somebody put that in their mouth when I was 10 years old, dude, oh my God, I would have freaking. Oh, I would have lit a fire in our yard and made smoke signals.
It's over, dude.
For God to come and help us.
It's over. It's over. I don't know how. It's crazy.
I would have hit him with a wrench or something. That would have scared me so much. So that's what's so, but yeah, so that was kind of crazy. Sorry, I don't know if I spit on you or not, but
no, you did. It's fine. That was good. That was hilarious.
That kind of stuff's pretty crazy. And then,
I get the intimidation factor. I do get, but I always whenever I like will see people, and I always just assume I always see like softer sides of it. It's something I've had my whole life where I can see like kind of like I don't know. I always can see people's softer nature because people present one way, then you're like with them. And it's like it's a totally different thing.
Oh, I would marry a black lady, I believe, or semi-black or whatever.
For sure.
Off black. I mean, there's so many. I mean, I've long been of the belief that it's a beige future, right? In 4 generations, everybody's going to be beige.
Yeah.
Everybody that's still alive, whatever. Exactly, we're all going to be beige Bitcoins.
True.
That will have no sense of faith or hope anymore, but that's where we'll be.
True.
At least we'll be able to text each other online.
True.
So
I think we might be in for like a massive spiritual awakening, though. It's coming. Well, there's rumblings. I can detect rumblings of it.
like that attitude, man. There was one thing I was going to say. What were we just talking about?
Being married, having a black wife.
Mm-hmm. I would date a black woman. I would marry a black woman. I would date a black woman, dude. I would probably maybe marry a black woman,
Yeah.
Like, I think when I was a kid, I thought that wasn't a real possibility or anything.
That makes sense, yeah.
But as an adult, I see that, that's a possibility. Like, I think also just from where I was from, they didn't have like a lot of interracial dating at the time, It
was even like, and I lived in the Philadelphia suburbs, so it was like very, very, very white where I was growing up. But like, even in college, some of my friends would come up to me and be like, that's crazy, dude. They like couldn't wrap their head around it. Yeah. And it wasn't like a hateful thing. They're just like, it was just a mind blower. They'd be like, bro, it's crazy.
The funny thing to me though is like black dudes are always like, hey man, you scared to date a black chick? And I'm like, you aren't dating a black chick. Every fucking black dude isn't dating a black chick. But the first thing they say is, oh, you scared of some of that black chick?
They get hyped on you. When they see you with a black chick, they'll get hyped. And then sometimes they'll be like, you're an easy target. I can kind of like, I'll fuck with you, or they'll do like a hard checkout on your babe. And you have to just go nuts. You gotta go white boy crazy.
Yeah.
So if they do like a damn, you have to be like, what's your fucking you have to spaz because you can't tolerate that. So I've gone white boy crazy a couple of times.
Yeah, you're like, I'm over here doing your job, motherfucker. Okay.
Well, dude, apparently black women and Asian men are the like Asian women tend to date outside their race a lot. Black men date outside their race a lot. But black women and Asian men tend to not date outside their race a lot.
So like the yin and yang twins or whatever? Like, what are you saying?
No, they're just...
So black and Asian do not date?
Well, black men will date outside their race, where traditionally black women tend to not date outside their race. Oh, wow.
So it's just that's...
And Asian women date white guys a lot, but a lot of Asian men don't date outside of the race. So it kind of like fucks you up in the dating pool.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think black women are coming around though. But yeah, they were fiercely loyal. It's still, you get a little, people are, it does. Some people don't like it. Obviously, you know, you get people who are like big into like black love, where they're like, it's not the same, and I'm like, whatever, man, that's your thing.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, but yeah, it's not your fault.
Exactly. It's I don't feel any kind of way about it, but it's just like, you know, celebrate that if you want. That's fine.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like,
Dude, I remember the first time I I was working out with a buddy of mine, a black guy, right? And he like touched my hand. He was helping spot me or something. And I was like, damn, I'd never even touched a black dude's hand or nothing.
they have beautiful nails too, dude. There's like a level of like black coolness where you grow one pinky nail long so you can crack a blunt with your long pinky nail. It's pretty sick.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like a evolution of the coke nail, but you can kind of just
That's cool.
you can just crack a blunt with a long pinky nail.
Being black, definitely. There's a lot of parts that seem super fun about it, and then there's some parts in them kind of like, man, that is not for me. I couldn't handle that.
It's definitely, I think it's easier than a black dude dating a white chick, because like, everyone's just kind of like, you know, people just kind of like, at first when you first meet them will like kind of giggle and be like, oh, you like black girl, you know, shit like that, and like kind of dap you up, and you're like, sweet. Whereas like I feel like the black, maybe it's different now, but back in the day, like being a black dude at like a white family party, there was definitely some uncles hitting you with like icicles in the eyes, just glaring at you like,
what you doing over there? Huh?
I had my one friend was a black dude, and he was dating a white chick, and he said like her brother would ask him like weird shit, being like, what do you think? He would get drunk and be like, what do you, like, we should, he was a wrestler, and he'd be like, let's wrestle right now.
Ugh.
He'd be like, bro, chill, man. Like, we don't have to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so.
That dude's gay, probably, but.
I think black dudes aren't threatened by white dudes as much as white dudes might be threatened by black guys.
Well, yeah, because they don't have to be, because they can always beat up white dudes.
Yeah, bigger dicks. Statistically, bigger dicks can beat you up.
Some of that's a rumor, first of all, I've heard, but it's, a lot of the ones on the internet, yes.
They've done condom sizing studies, and like it's not as much of a difference as you think, but there's a difference.
Dude, the last thing I would want to have is some big old long dick bothering me all day, dude.
I hear you on that.
Yeah.
I'm high and tight. I'm ready for action. I'm ready for action at all times. Yeah. I'm ready for action at all times.
Oh, I'm fucking, I got that John Stockton, homie, dude. You know what I'm saying? I'll help you out, bro. I'll try to assist you in whatever you're headed. I'm here, dude.
I'm ready to run. I'm in sport mode.
What was I just gonna ask you about? Yeah, there's definitely some white comics married to black women. I think T.J. Miller, I believe.
Gary Owens.
Yeah.
Who else? There's
Bill Burr.
Bill Burr.
Bill Maher.
Bill Maher's there married to a black lady?
Oh, he loves
Dating.
It's crazy.
He loves
That was a head-to-head. That was a black wife head-to-head. Bill Maher and Bill Burr. They were both dressed pretty good too. They both were black wife affected, and they argued over like there's Israel and Palestine.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, there's like a fucking viral clip.
Really?
Yeah,
Let's hear it.
They fucking fought. It's kind of funny.
Let's hear it.
Bill Burr was ruthless.
What is black wife affected? Let me get that, and then let's watch the clip. Can it?
Just when you start dressing better because your wife's black, and they really don't tolerate like if you're not dressed well. Like I fought along. I hold it down. You know, I still wear kind of like bummy stuff, but they'll wear on you.
Yeah, black people like to look nice.
Yeah,
it's important.
It's very important. And like and at weddings, it's the opposite. Like you have to dance. If you don't dance at a wedding, people are like, "What the fuck's your problem?"
Really?
White wedding, you sit in a chair the whole time.
Oh yeah,
it's a lot of pressure to dance. Yeah,
you can gamble on your phone even.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, you're like, I object. You know, but you're just so gayist or whatever, you can't help but yell it.
Look at these guys.
Let's see what happens here.
I mean, dude,
demonstrating for Hamas. They are in with the terrorists.
They were for the Palestinians.
Well, it's sort of the same cause. Why, are you?
I'm on the side of the kids.
Yeah, that's easy to say. You know, no one wants to see kids dead. This is a war.
That was very brave of you to say that.
This is a war. No,
he sounds like he has no feelings
on this.
Pat yourself on the back.
It's easy to say I'm for the kids. Who's not for the kids?
Well,
it comes down to real hard-nosed decisions. Like a country.
Stop talking like you're a general.
A country got attacked. Israel got attacked.
I'm not saying that they didn't have a right to go back. I'm just sitting there going like, how do I look at what?
We're the only country in the world that they get attacked, and then as soon as they counterattack, it's like, well, we got to stop this shit now. Don't attack them. There's a very simple solution to all this problem in the Middle East. Stop attacking Israel.
Hey, you
Stop
just solved
attacking
it.
Israel.
You just solved it.
I actually did.
There you go. That's fantastic.
Anyway.
All right.
We don't need to get on to that.
Apparently this was the whole episode of them fighting.
The Ukraine. How do you solve that one, Bill? Let me hear your hard-nosed decision.
Well, I think some of that's bullshit because I think some of the people, they are, I don't know, it feels like they had to elect the Hamas because they don't have any other choice.
Yeah, true.
But I guess you always have a choice in who you elect.
Yeah, I don't think.
But-
I don't think you can go against. I don't think you can. You vocally oppose Hamas in Palestine?
That's a good
It
question.
might be kind of risky. I don't know. That's the thing. The worst part is this will be on some historical record, and we don't know how it'll play out. We could be like basically on either side promoting the Nazis, and you know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah, you don't know the long play of it,
Yeah.
you know? But to me, it's like, if somebody says free a place, that's the place that needs to be freed, usually.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You don't hear free Israel. I've said this before. You don't hear free Kentucky. You don't hear free America. You're kind of hearing a little, but you don't hear, you know, you hear free Cuba, you hear free Palestine. If that's the chant, it's like, that's usually the place that needs to be free, right?
Yeah, that's a fair point. That's a tough one to be like, well, hold on a second. What are they up to? Yeah, if he feels bad.
Right.
Be like, well, what do they do?
I don't know. My heart just tells me, and I don't know, I'm retarded, but my heart just tells me that it's just unfair. That's what it feels like to me. But then I don't know a lot about it. I got to get some people on that know more.
I mean, I think the war is totally unfair. They're totally unmatched. I mean, dude, imagine if you're fighting somebody and then someone gave you $90 billion. You're going to crush them. So yeah,
I don't know why we're funding that.
I know. That's my one point of contention where it's like, but then they'll go, well, we need them there because they help stabilize the region, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, dude, 90 bill. It's fucked up.
They're fine.
They're good. Yeah, they're set up. But again, it's like, yeah, I don't fucking know. But they that's the one thing that disheartened me because they passed that new bill. It's like $90 billion.
Oh, they keep giving them. Well, they're using
Israel.
Biden as a fucking human merry-go-round or whatever.
Yeah, dude.
That dude's over there like, my son got my son was a 4-star general at Arby's, you know, and
Yeah, you know
my
what's fucked
black
up?
guy at the swimming pool stabbed my son, you know? He's like, what the fuck is he even talking about, dude? He sounds like outtakes from a fucking Larry David episode. That's what he sounds
Dude,
like.
we were talking about it yesterday on our podcast where he's RFK Jr. was like, dude, I forget the time span, but if there's a nuclear threat in the middle of the night, they got to wake Joe Biden up and he's got like maybe 30 seconds to make a call. How fucked up is that? How terrifying is that? He's got to walk down a hallway and be like, what's going on from sleep? And be like, this is what we're doing.
Oh my God.
I hope that's not the
dude.
case. There has to be people in the White House being like, bro, chill. We'll do it. Relax.
There's no way that guy's making a decision. There's no way that guy is doing anything. Imagine him trying to eat. This is what I imagine a lot. Him trying to eat a piece of Kraft Singles cheese.
There should be footage of that. Be like, dude, prove it. We'll open one of those.
Yeah, that's the litmus test. If you can't successfully open, eat, and swallow a Kraft Single,
You can't.
then you're fucking out of here, my guy.
No nuclear codes at all.
Yeah, you're out of here. And everybody's always like the nuclear codes. The nuclear codes are the algorithms of the internet. Those are the fucking nuclear codes that are killing our humanity and our being, it feels like.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Do you guys have children?
Yeah, we have kids. Yeah, we have
Okay.
2 little kids.
So your father, is this
I thought I was getting lumped in with Biden. I was like, yeah, I think we
No,
both
sorry.
have kids. Yeah, no, yeah, I'm a father. I have 2 daughters, 2 little kids. One will be 2 in a couple weeks, and a 4-year-old. Wow. Yeah, it's the best.
It is?
Yeah, it's very, very taxing, and it's but it really is the best. It really, you hear a lot of guys when they have kids, they get all like crazy. They're like, dude, if there was a button right now that I had to hit to kill myself or her, I'd fucking hit it and kill myself. It's
Yeah.
like, you don't have to go that hard.
Yeah, dude. That's chill out, dude. You're a manager, first of all, at a Jimmy John's.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, that's your
my-
family right there.
Yeah, that's my family.
Oh, dang. Those girls are cute, huh?
They're cuties, man.
That's so cool.
But yeah, so when you're a dad or you're a parent, I guess in general, it's like you live your whole life for yourself before you have kids. You're just, every single person is just narcissistically self-obsessed. It's just the way we are.
Yeah, I am.
Everybody, no, every single person is. When people are like, I'm not, it's like, yes, you are.
Oh, so it's something you don't even realize till you have a child, you mean?
Well, it's like, I think so. Hopefully you realize. If you don't realize it, that can be tough. But it's like, and it's not a put down or a slam. It's like, as an organism, we have to be primarily obsessed with ourselves.
Oh,
'Cause
it'd be
it's like-
really weird if I was taking care of some kids that weren't mine.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it just as a person, like if there's a dangerous situation, our bodies are designed to preserve ourselves and to
Right.
advance our own interests. It's just,
Oh, wow.
it's the law of nature. So then when you have a kid, you start that drive gets frustrated over and over and over on a daily basis. And you either like come to grips with that and like reorient yourself around stuff outside of yourself, or I think it just explodes your brain and you just completely fail. Yeah, it's pretty tough. It's a pretty tough job, but it's the best, dude. Waking up every morning, every morning now is like it's the same thing over and over. Like the kids wake up, you get them breakfast, and for me it put me on like a nice schedule because I was just kind of floating around. So,
damn,
it's cool.
Did you plan on having a baby, or was it a surprise?
Yeah, we were like both like, fuck it, let's have a kid. It wasn't like super planned out, but we were like, we weren't trying not to. And then she got pregnant. And I was like, oh shit, fuck. And it's just like, ugh.
And at the does it feel like you have mixed kids? You just feel like you just have children?
It's feels like you have kids. You don't really, we don't really like, because then when you have kids, you get kids books. So you get like different kids books. Now there's been a lot of like political and racial ideology that's been pumped into kids books. Not all of it's bad. Some of it's like, love your hair, shit like that.
Right.
But then you get like some political stuff. So like I've been kind of like, I'll like screen out some of the books. If they're like too political, I'll just like show them pictures like, oh, look at this lady.
Yeah, like Horton here's a Harriet Tubman or whatever. And you're like,
yeah.
This feels a little.
Yeah, it's like, anything that's like overtly super political, I'm just like, I'm like, I'm not, I'll just like point to the pictures and make up a story. And, it's like, say they're little kids. You don't have to like, you just don't have, I don't like, I'm not like against people knowing that stuff. It's just like, dude, this kid's trying to figure out like squares and circles. They don't need to like comprehend like systemic inequalities yet. They can get that. That'll be later.
Right.
It's Anti-Racist Baby. That book is crazy. Feminist Baby's crazy. Feminist Baby's kind of crazy too.
Feminist Babies are pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's feminist, dude. It's a baby, dude. We can't even make it.
Yeah, babies are initially obsessed with the mother too.
They have to be, bro.
It's a survival. Yeah, it's a survival
If
thing.
some gay baby came over trying to slurp on my chest, dude, I'd fucking put him to bed early.
It's true.
I would put that fucking fat McNugget to bed early, dude. The crazy thing about being a baby is you can be as fat as you want and people fucking love you, dude. It's almost like the Yokozuna in Japan,
Yeah, true. That's a fair point. But actually, people love fat babies, man. Women squeeze their cheeks and they're like, man, you're so fat.
Yeah.
Women are crazy too, because when you have a kid, they like the smell of their baby poop. I've heard this from multiple women. Like it smells like buttered popcorn. Dude, it's so gross. It's disgusting. But no, having kids is cool, man. It's like it definitely, for me at least, it kind of rocked me to the foundation on one level. But then you're still your normal self, but you're just hyper aware because like I used to have an anger problem. Like I would fucking break glasses.
Really?
I was so bad.
What do you think it was from? I have an anger problem. We have an anger guy coming on in a couple weeks.
Do you really? Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I can go into depth. I think I could venture a guess that was like, sometimes in households, there's like certain emotions aren't on display, and anger can certainly become a primary emotion. If you're like in a household where people aren't exactly talking and sharing feelings, everything gets bottled up. So then every feeling gets channeled into anger eventually. So it just becomes like, becomes natural to you just to fucking spaz. So I was just a spaz. I don't know. I come from a long line of Irish spazzes. So I would just like, especially like, in the early stages of our relationship, you get into those arguments where you're just like, you get so disoriented because you're like, I don't know if I'm right. I don't know if I'm wrong.
Right.
And you just start to spaz, and I would be doing the dishes and just be like, just like smash a glass. But then like, once you have like that kind of shit has to stop once you have kids, or you can just keep going and terrify them. So you got to like, I'd have to like really, I had to rein that in. I
would
did
break their heart too, dude.
It'd just be so scary, dude. It's so, as I can remember as a kid, like seeing your parents yell was like, fuck, dude. It just was shitty. You'd
My
see it.
dad, was like, he was so old. He was probably, when I finally could get a good look at him, he was probably about 76.
Damn.
And he would drink sometimes, and he would like park his car like in the ditch outside of our house.
Yeah. It's not a good look when you see that car in the ditch. You're like, fuck.
We thought it was so funny, dude. And dude, one time our aunt came to visit, and she was like 91 years old, dude. It was my dad's sister. We had never even seen anybody this fucking old.
Really?
Bro.
She just rolled up?
Yeah, she came to visit, and I think she was 90 or 91. And we were just like, what is going on?
That's wild.
She couldn't even talk to us.
Damn. So how old was your dad when he had you?
He was 70. He was an older
Whoa.
guy. But it was so bizarre. She couldn't even talk to us. But she painted us some pictures, I remember.
That's kind of cool.
It was really nice of her.
Damn.
She painted like wildflowers from, I think, Mississippi or something.
That's nice.
Yeah, it was very sweet of her.
But yeah, to answer your question, that was kind of it. Like you get kind of like, if you see spazzing, you're like, yeah, this is just how I handle stuff. And then you just start spazzing. And then like, if you don't learn how to like logically process whatever that surge of emotion is. It's just like, I'm gonna fucking spaz. I'm still guilty of it.
Yeah.
Like I'll like kick if we have like an empty paper bag. I'll fucking everyone leaves. I'll just fucking kick that
bitch.
thing. Kick it as hard as I
I'll
fucking
kick that
can.
motherfucker too.
I also stopped talking. I was talking to my dogs real mean too. I would like I'd walk my dogs and they yank my arm. I'd be like, you motherfucker, knock it off. And I had to like chill with that. I can't do that. But yeah, I was
hazing, huh?
Yeah. Well, dude, if you get your shoulder yanked, it's like my dogs are like 60 pounds.
Yeah, no,
One of them
dude.
yanks your shoulder and you're not expecting it. It's like it is the most infuriating thing. But then if someone sees you doing that, they're like,
this guy's.
Because in my house, it was on. You could hit dogs in my house. It was like just that's where we were at. Like,
oh yeah, Philly
kids
Vic.
got beat.
That's
dogs
Michael
got
Vick
beat.
country.
Yeah, kids. If you're bad, you got hit.
course.
If the dog was bad, of course the dog got hit too. So I like thought it was normal to hit dogs.
Yeah,
and I learned that it's not. So,
dude, dogs used to patrol our neighborhood, attack kids, attack people, male people, GAYs. Everybody, dude. They would bite everybody, dude.
Damn.
Let's watch the rest of that Burr thing. Did we watch his
yeah.
part? I want to see what he said back. Or just see what he said. I want to see what he said.
Simple solution to all this problem in the Middle East: stop attacking Israel.
Hey, you
Stop
just solved
attacking
it.
Israel.
You just
I did.
solved it.
I actually
there
did.
you go. That's fantastic.
Anyway,
All right,
we don't need to get onto
go
that.
Let's go to Russia and the Ukraine. How do you solve that one, Bill? Let me hear your hard-nosed decision about that. Well, let me ask you a question. How is war still legal? All this shit that's been canceled.
Legal.
Why is that still fucking
A great
legal?
point.
Would you like a real answer to that?
So I
Because
stole Bill Maher's answer, by the way.
For something to be illegal, you have to have the capacity to enforce it. And you can't enforce against war, or else you have to go to war with the country that's going to war. And we don't want to go to war with Russia over Ukraine. What would be the sense of making it illegal? Oh, that's really going to stop Putin. No. To stop people from going to war, you have to also put
Just can't sit down and talk it out. Why can't Putin do a podcast with the head guy? Like, you just solved the Middle East on a podcast. Why can't they solve what they're doing on a podcast?
This is why this is not your thing.
Make some hard-nosed decisions. It's not your thing. It's what you.
It is my thing.
It isn't your thing.
This is not your thing.
You're like that guy that has a fantasy football team and thinks he's a fucking GM.
Bill Burr's too
That's
funny.
exactly what it is. Like, why am I fucking listening to you like you've done something?
That's hilarious. Yeah, Bill Maher hasn't done shit, dude. Well, he was
I
super
didn't
woke,
know.
and then he pandered when he realized his audience was leaving. He definitely got more centrist.
You think that's what it was? He flipped?
I certainly think that. To
Yeah.
him, it was a financial thing.
Yeah.
That he got way more centrist because I started seeing like he was like all these idiots are wrong. You're taking horse medicine or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah,
and then you've certainly seen him come back over to the other side.
He flipped big time. I mean, I was delighted to see him flip like that, but I get what you're saying. If you start getting enough hate, now you can just like measure it in real time. You see it and you're like, oh fuck, these guys all dude, if you go on YouTube, almost every comment is like, fuck this. Some gradient of like, whether it's Trump or like almost 80% of comments are like Trump rules. It's like mostly for some reason like conservative people commenting. I don't know if it's like bots or what.
Yeah.
It's like if you were to watch that clip, actually, I think I did read that. A lot of people were slamming Maher, being like, what a smug fucking blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, my mom never liked him, and she never really said anything to me, but I remember her saying that once.
My mom doesn't like Bill Maher at all.
I don't like Bill Maher.
Yeah,
He doesn't seem respectful to women. That's what I remember she said to me.
That's fair. I think that's fair for her to say, especially back in the, Yeah, I don't know. I've never met him, I just know.
No, I haven't either. I'm just joking, but.
No, I just know he did flip-flop hard. I remember just being, I was delighted. I was like, yes. It was funny.
Well, yeah, because you
people.
needed some every host was all like really, it seemed like not, they just all had the same exact plan. It was like, remember when they played that video?
Dude, that was crazy.
Remember
when it was
that
all
video?
talking at once.
All
Yeah.
talking about every channel, talking about the same thing. It was like,
Yeah.
at a certain point, you can't think we all think we just live in some, like, people are going to notice.
Yeah.
Right? And it almost seems like we're so dumb we didn't
That
notice.
was fucked up, man. That bugged me out.
And is this a real video? This is a real thing?
I think so. I mean, that'd be crazy to fake that.
Fox San Antonio's Jessica Headley.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our Treasure Valley communities,
the El Paso, Las Cruces communities,
Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But we are concerned about trouble and irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country.
plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and
False news has become all too common on social media.
I mean,
they definitely have a script. People are writing scripts.
Well, it's just they're all owned by the same 3 or 4 companies now.
Yeah.
It's the same reason why everything's just kind of the same. It's like it's all Panera Bread. It's just the same 7 companies own everything. Of course. So when people are finally like, you can't just expect that people don't have something inside of them that detects when something is inauthentic. I think, and that's the last piece of you probably to go, is that part of you that.
Yeah, well, I think people underestimate the vast majority of people, and it's like a tough thing to think about. Just really don't think for themselves that much.
Yeah,
it's I think it's true, and then it's like, you know, you can really just kind of pump a message out, and I agree. It'll land with a huge majority of people. They figured this out. I think it was Bernays. It was like Freud's nephew did that whole book Propaganda, and they like studied this and like, dude, you can convince people of anything.
Freud's nephew must have been balling too, because he's like my uncle's fucking Freud, dude. He must have been smashing, dude.
Yeah, dude. Apparently he convinced women to smoke cigarettes. Women didn't smoke cigarettes until there was a company that was like, we got to drive up our sales, and he's like, I got it, and he just had like a famous actress smoke a cigarette at a parade, and cigarette sales of women just fucking spiked. It's crazy.
That is crazy, dude.
I wish I wouldn't smoke.
Yeah, man, Armageddon, dude. Yeah. Good for Burr for speaking up, though, at least.
Burr for going after Bill Maher. Yeah, it was funny. He's very entertaining with all that stuff. Like, what are you, a fucking general? It's like, fuck, that's funny.
Perfect line to a general.
Yeah. But yeah, apparently he was like nasty, though. He did it the whole time.
Burr did?
Yeah, apparently, yeah. They had like a supercut of just him just fucking leveling him the entire time. So that's tough. And, you know, especially Bill Maher, like you were saying, I don't think he's equipped for that kind of cut fight, really, because he's like going into like the issues that, you know, from his perspective, like, let's talk about this from a macro perspective. And Burr's like, you're a fucking loser. And you're like, fuck, fuck, dude. God damn it, dude.
God, Burr is fucking incredible, dude.
He's funny as fuck.
He's one of none, dude.
Yeah.
That's how rare he is.
He's nasty as fuck. But yeah, he crushed him, man. He's yeah, he's a big COVID guy too. I noticed that he was like #1 COVID guy.
Who? Bill Maher?
Bill Burr.
Bill Burr. He was pro COVID.
Well, yeah, pro COVID, pro mask, pro vax. You know, which is his prerogative, whatever.
Yeah,
but
at least he's a free thinker. He's able to think for both sides of things. It's not always just one side of things.
Oh yeah, he does a good job of that. On his appearances on Conan were really funny.
And COVID, like, I didn't know if it was real at first, but then when people are dying, I was like, oh, something's really going on here. And then people I started to know got sick. Because first it just came from the news. You were like, people are getting this thing. It was kind of invisible. You couldn't really see it.
Yeah.
You know.
We had like Ebola before that. We had a couple of little things, but they were like, this is it. But I remember just looking at the stats and being like, I don't think I have to worry about this. That was my only gripe about it. It's like, dude, you could have like preserved the elderly, let the obese chill, and anyone who was like younger and not like had emphysema should have been able to just do their thing the entire time.
Yeah, they were like, hide your fat friends and everything. They were like making all these crazy rules. Dude, my friend would go and get his groceries delivered in his yard, have the guy set him out there. He would go out there with a fucking pressure washer and pressure wash his fucking groceries, dude.
Yeah, that's
like
crazy.
in a hazmat suit. I'm like, dude, you are a pussy, dude.
Yeah.
I would rather die next to a couple things of Ritz crackers in front of my son than ever see him let me hazmat suit down.
Dude,
that was Miracle Whip and some fucking
some bananas.
Oatmeal squares.
Dude, and that was a crazy thing because I had my first daughter right at the beginning of COVID. So we were in school and like the parents were trying to make the kids like, dude, fucking 2-year-olds. There's like a daycare, like early childhood education, trying to make them wear masks all day. And it was like, bro, give it up. They're not keeping these on all day. And also for a 2-year-old who's virtually at zero risk, you're going to tell them in their formative years, like there's a giant virus and we're all dying. Like, dude, let them chill. You can tell them like people are getting sick, but like, dude, they were mask on all the times.
And where's the virus now, dude? That's the thing. It's fucking gone, bro.
Exactly. You don't hear about it. If people
the
get
vax cards, that shit didn't take, like, what was that for now? And now the people that have it, they don't know if it might get sick. And you know now I believe you can't trust. I don't know. I don't want to go down the road. I just think people hear so much of it, they're probably sick of hearing about it.
Yeah, I mean, also, it's a throwback now. But yeah, they were funny too because they were just a piece of paper.
Yeah.
So you could just fake them. Like, and there was no penalty for if you faked one, there's no criminal penalty. I don't
I had
think.
4 fake ones, dude.
Yeah, I got into different countries on fake ones because they would just look at it. I'd have a picture on my phone and be like, here it is. And they'd be like, cool, man. I'm like, this is fucking ridiculous.
So dumb, man. What else happened in the news, guys? Let me see.
Peru classified transgender, non-binary, and intersex people as mentally ill.
Peru. Wow.
What did they say? Why?
That's a good question.
I mean, Peru's a Christian nation. I do know that, but I'm not saying that justifies it. I'm just laying that groundwork. The controversial decision was made to ensure the country's public health services could guarantee full coverage of medical attention for mental health for the trans community, Peruvian Health Ministry explained.
That makes sense. In order to bill insurance, it has to be a mental, like some sort of mental disorder.
Oh, so it's a helpful
kind of nice.
thing.
They did a kind of a nice thing. Being gay was a straight up mental disorder in the 70s. It was listed in the book that was like that. There's a book that's called the DSM that has every mental disorder, and every year people have to argue like what's still one, what isn't, like how long, blah blah blah. But yeah, being gay in like the 70s was like it was like a clinical mental disorder.
Well, of course. I mean, it had to seem like it. If you think about it, imagine you're hanging out somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And you're just sitting there with your buddy or something. You're watching like the Cubs or something. You're watching Andre Dawson. And your buddy keeps fucking putting his hand on your leg, right?
Yeah, true.
And you tell him like, hey, Mark.
What's up?
Your hand keeps moving over here. Is something wrong with your elbow? Is something wrong with your shoulder?
Yeah. You have to call 911.
Is something wrong with your bicep? And he's like, no, I'm fine. And it keeps happening. And then it starts rubbing on your chest or whatever. You're like, this dude doesn't understand that something's wrong with you. You're going to think then that he's mentally disabled.
True. It's a fair point. It's actually a fair point. But yeah.
Even he would probably think it in the beginning. He'd be like, some guys I'm sure were like,
the hell?
What is going on?
Could you imagine?
Oh,
like
God.
The 50s being like, I just want to suck my boss's dick so bad.
Yeah.
And there's no one in the world you could turn to and be like, look, man, I want to suck my boss's dick more than anything. Everyone would be like, get the fuck out of here right now. People would beat your ass.
Yeah, or people would just be like, dude, you're crazy. That's not... You would have to think you're crazy because if you didn't even know about being gay, imagine you never even heard about being gay.
Yeah.
You just seen your parents and suddenly... You're being gay, right?
Yeah, dude.
Or you look at like your brother, your neighbor, your male neighbor.
God damn.
And you just like kind of start fucking feeling some type of way about him.
Yeah, man. It's
Light
crazy.
a candle for no reason.
It must have been crazy. I've never envied that, man. That's
they used to do lobotomies to ungay people. They used to do
really?
Yeah. They would do lobotomies thinking that it could help them.
Damn. Cut the gay part out.
But so actually they did it all. It was a positive thing. That article made it sound like it was negative, huh?
Yeah, I could be wrong, but that's what it sounded like in order for them to get help. Or like if they want to, it's something you can bill.
Is that right, Nick? Are we in the right field here of it?
Yeah, I think Matt's right. But I do think people are just running with the headline and being like, Peru's
fucked up, yeah.
Yeah, and then like the conservative side's like, fuck yeah, Peru.
Right, people will just read the headline. That'll be it. And the conservatives are like, fuck yeah, Peru. Who was that speaker? They had a guy who was speaking yesterday. It was the kicker from...
Harrison Bucker.
Yeah, you see this? This was going around. He was speaking at a Catholic school, Benedict College.
Congratulations on an amazing accomplishment. You should be proud of all that you have achieved to this point in your young lives. I want to speak directly to you briefly because I think it is you, the women, who have had the most diabolical lies told to you. How many of you are sitting here now, about to cross this stage, and are thinking about all the promotions and titles you are going to get in your career? Some of you may go on to lead successful careers in the world, but I would venture to guess that the majority of you are most excited about your marriage and the children you will bring into this world. I can tell you that my beautiful wife, Isabel, would be the first to say that her life truly started when she began living her vocation as a wife and as a mother. I'm on this stage today and able to be the man I am because I have a wife who leans into her vocation. I'm beyond blessed with the many talents God has given me, but it cannot be overstated that all of my success is made possible because a girl I met in band class back in middle school would convert to the faith.
You love middle school, huh?
Become my wife and embrace one of the most important titles of all, homemaker.
Okay.
Yo, it's a kind of a sweet, heartfelt thing. It's just like, He might have like, ran that by. I think it's a nice sentiment that he's trying to go for, but it's also like, dude.
Well, he's saying that. Well, first of all, I wonder if our school, does it look at homemaking? Because a lot of people are divorced now. People are raised with only one parent.
Yeah.
My mother had to work all the time. Your dad, so then your mom has to do both jobs, or your dad has to do both jobs.
Yeah.
A lot of times, if you're not able to see both parents, it's not a safe place for even an animal to be raised with a single parent.
Yeah.
And we promote it, it feels like, a lot with our society.
Dude, it's impossible. They used to do that at social work school. Like, there's no difference between having a single parent and two parents. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
So different.
It's a gigantic difference. Dude, it'd be impossible. If I had to raise kids by myself, it's for real. You can't, it's hard to do. I'm not gonna say you can't do it, but it's like, it is so fucking hard. It's crazy.
So yeah, I don't think that I definitely understand where, this at a Christian college is Benedictine. It sounds like Christian.
Okay, so it's not that crazy.
Right.
My thing, it's kind of like, I do feel like, people do hate hearing this, but there is some truth to that in terms of like, I do think it's I just feel sad if a woman does like, gets all like, it has it jammed in her head that she has to like rise at a Fortune 500 company and slowly is like, damn, I kind of wish I had kids. Like, having kids is more meaningful than being like an insurance salesman, like in terms of experience. So yeah, I feel like it's a thing women have. It's an insecurity that if they don't work, they're somehow have been brainwashed into like some old, like, outdated value system that like they should fight against it. But, in reality, I do think that a lot of women, would probably like to not be at their job and like, be at home doing stuff. It is a job. It's a massive, insane undertaking.
Well, it's a job that's not getting done right now.
Yeah.
It feels like in our country.
Yeah, because it's almost like dude, women, like, they're allergic to like minivans. Like, if you show a woman a minivan, they'll spaz. Like, no, I'd never drive that. Then they'll drive like a crossover, which is just a fucking minivan in disguise.
Yeah.
But
You can't tell them it's a minivan now.
You can't. They'll spaz. But there is something almost...
Even at night, a crossover kind of like takes its fucking sides off and minivan pops out as a cigarette. God.
But yeah, again, it's like...
uniform all day.
Yeah, I would never tell a woman like you can't work. It's
no,
like,
you can do whatever you
work,
want, of course. I also think some of it is like, there was a time where women like were abused in the workplace. They were taken advantage of.
For sure.
They were used for sex to get promotions. They were promised promotions and not given them. They had no... they would go to court, but the men in town had the power and they would influence the judges. It's a fucking nightmare. It's been a nightmare for women to get the equality that they've needed to also to just have money, really, which was the power. Yeah. Right. It's definitely been a hell of a journey. But yeah, I wonder sometimes if the pendulum will swing back some and you will have more women that are just like, I want to be a homemaker. And I want to be a good mom and create a good household. And a lot of the women in our society, I think they're a reflection of men. I think we don't realize that a lot of times. Like, if your wife is happy, not all the time, but they're a reflection of men. Does that make any sense?
It does. It makes total sense, man. Yeah.
Like, if you love your wife and you lift her up and you then she lives that way.
Yeah.
And if as a father you do that probably with your daughters, they live that way.
Yeah.
I always sometimes feel like they're a reflection of the men in their lives.
Yeah, it's true, man. It's hard too, especially like, with any job. It's just hard to like remember like, okay, yeah, because you get so wrapped up in your job, you're like, oh, I have to like set up like a culture in this house and make sure everyone's okay and like do stuff. Because you get into a thing where you're just like, all right, I'm done my work. I'm gonna go home. We're gonna watch TV. We're gonna chill. And I totally get that. But yeah, it takes a lot of effort, and no one's really incentivizing you toward that effort. Like with work, everyone's like, they're dangling carrots over your face all day long. But for having kids and like raising a family, it's totally up to you.
Yeah.
To be like, here's how we're gonna do this, and it's difficult. But I do think women got sold an idea that like they have to be kick-ass business women, and like anything less than that is like a failure and like a disgrace for like the women's struggle. And it's like, well, I think the women's struggle helped in people finding out like, oh yeah, people were pretty miserable to women for a long time. Yeah. Now just let them do whatever they really want to do. Let them do. I get why people are mad at that, but I still am like, that's not a bad thing. And he genuinely thinks he's trying to help people, man. He's not trying to be like a dick, like stay at home, bitch.
Yeah. At one point, Butker mentioned the word pride, then clarified that he wasn't talking about the deadly sin sort of pride that has an entire month dedicated to it, but the true God-centered pride that is cooperating with the Holy Ghost to glorify him. Damn. Okay, so he's just a devout Christian or Catholic maybe. I mean, that's the thing is about some of this, it's like you can't go to a devout Catholic and expect non-devout Catholic shit, you know?
Yeah,
that's
true.
what I don't love about like the way the media covers a lot of this stuff. It's like, yeah, most people might not agree with the guy, or some people might not.
Yeah.
But you can't go to a chocolate shop and get pissed when somebody fucking gives you some chocolate, dude.
True. Yeah.
That guy's a devout Catholic, then that's what he believes. It's like...
It was a safe space. He was in a safe space, and, you know, it's like, if my dad sat in like a liberal safe space, he'd be incensed. He'd freak.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, he doesn't go there. So it's like, yeah, I get it. It's like, dude, I get if you're gay, that would piss you off. But if you're not gay, you're like, whatever. And if you're like super Christian, you're like, fuck yeah. It all depends on like what you're up to.
Right. There's people for everybody, you know, but we act like, sometimes the media acts like there's not people for everybody in a way. They only want to create, but then that's their job.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm being a downer today.
No, you're not being a downer. It is like, I mean, we're having like, dude, there's a guy, Ken Wilber, who writes, I think it's like the best take on this I've ever heard about how historically human beings have gone through just different levels of just consciousness where it's like originally the thing that like motivated humans, like the highest ideal is just being powerful and dominating others. Like if you're a Roman, if you're like, you know, like Alexander the Great, if you went and fucked up a whole bunch of people, you were you would be like, God loves me. This is awesome. And then we kind of evolved into like Christianity and all that, you know, whatever. That was kind of like, actually, you know, we should be nicer to each other. And then we came up like, we should be nice to other Christians and like kind of fuck everybody else. So we went from like, they call it like power gods to mythic membership. And then from mythic membership to the scientific worldview. And they're saying the last one, the newest worldview has been this kind of like woke kind of like postmodern woke ideology. And now we have people at different levels of this and they're all just entrenched in their worldview and fighting each other. And he's like, it's just going to go on, you know, until people are just like, all right, fuck it. And they transcend all of them. And like, look, you do your thing. I get it. I don't agree, but like, I don't hate you because of it.
Yeah, that's the part. Yeah, I think hating people because of it's bizarre to me, but I'm not shocked. Like, a Christian guy at a Christian college said some really Christian shit.
He did.
Yeah, so it's like, that to me, it's not even fucking news, you know? It's like, let him be who he wants to be, you know?
He said, I love my wife and I'm not gay. It's like, yeah, that's for sure, dude.
Right. Yeah. I'm not saying I agree with everything the guy says or anything, but let him speak. If it's like, yeah, I think the guy should be able to speak. You said a little bit ago that you think there's like a faith wave that's starting up.
I think so. Can I pee real quick? I'm about to, I for real might pee my pants on camera.
Go pee. And we're almost done anyway.
That was like a 5 a.m. pee, dude. That was like 5 minutes long.
Amen.
All right. Sorry about that.
No worries. It was a good pee.
Thank you. Yeah.
I saw you in there. You were peeing and I came in and then when I left, you were still peeing.
I lapped you. Yeah, it was crazy. I was embarrassed about how long I was peeing for. I was like, come on, dude, hurry up.
Yeah, there is that weird thing. It's like, it's so funny. You'll get embarrassed if you can't pee.
Yeah.
And then you'll get embarrassed if you're peeing too long because people, even if you're standing there facing the urinal with your wiener, people will be like, that dude's taking a shit.
Yeah. True.
Like, this fucking dude is taking a shit. Or you'll think the people outside think you're taking a shit. Like, at what point do people think you're taking a shit? Look that up.
Shitting in a urinal is crazy, too. That's a wild move.
Shitting at the urinal is an insane move.
It should be treason. You should get hung.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's...
You should be shot by a firing squad. It's like
it means you should be allowed to be a lifeguard, dude. Okay, obviously. According to Scientific American, mammals that weigh more than 6.5 pounds, that's us, take about 21 seconds to urinate, plus or minus 13 seconds.
Whoa, you see that last part? Oh, no, when you pass a stool, the relaxation of the stronger anal sphincter decreases tension in the weaker urinary sphincter, allowing urine to pass at the same time. Okay. That's weird. What does that fact mean, that you can pee while you poop?
I don't think you can, huh?
I've never done it.
I think it's saying that when you pee, it makes you have to shit.
If you pee while you poop, the fucking cops will show up, huh? Who does that? Where in Philadelphia?
Crazy. I've never heard anyone successfully doing that.
That's crazy, dude. If I would never do that, dude. I live by a church, dude. They would know immediately when I went in there. They'd be like, he did it. You were talking about faith, man. You think there's going to be like people need something. I do think that not having faith is, there's something that's not help people. The rest of this seems fucking aimless. Life starts to seem kind of aimless and purposeless. That's the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I honestly, like, it was like Bill Maher was all about this way back in the day when he did Religulous, where he went around and like debated like conservative Baptist Christians down south and was like, you actually think a guy in the sky? And it's like, that whole argument's ridiculous. But it was cool to be atheistic back when like there was still kind of like a stronghold of religion. But now like we've lost it all. And it's terrifying to be like, we're just totally alone. We're like a cosmic mistake that's just like here, like a fucking amoeba, just eating and shitting. I think now that it's completely collapsed, it'll get rebuilt in I think a more thoughtful kind of way where it isn't like a literal interpretation. If that's people's thing, whatever. Right. But it's evolved a lot in terms of like the concept of God, what it could possibly mean, like the consciousness in the universe. And then like you take like the Eastern stuff that's kind of blending in, and then you add YouTube, which is like now people can learn about anything and kind of reconceptualize their own connection to God rather than just kind of like being in Sunday school and, and having someone just being like, this is how this works. Because there's like, with religion, and again, this is more just Ken Wilber stuff. He talks about there's like translative religions where it's like them
and
telling
he's a human being?
Ken Wilber, yeah, he's a human being. He's dude, his stuff, I think he's one of the smartest guys out there.
Still alive?
Yeah, he's still alive. I think he lives in Boulder. He's 75. But yeah, so he talks
I'd love
about
to meet him. Let's keep that on the list, please.
Bro, he would be a fantastic get. But he talks about this, how a lot of the religion people grew up with here is like translative, where it's just kind of like, here's how the universe was built, and here's what happened then. And like there's no process toward like transforming yourself. He's like, there's translative and then there's transformative religion. A lot of the Eastern stuff is more about like transforming yourself. But then that, whatever. So like I think within here, if people can like kind of start to learn about, there are pathways to transform yourself over an entire lifetime to make you a more loving person, and like you can tap it, whatever. I don't know. I'm like out of my element with.
You sound insane a little, but I also think that you're a very smart guy and a super communicative guy, man. But I think I think it is getting. I was just joking.
No, it's funny. Okay. It's very funny. And I lose the thread hard on myself. That's
I hate that, dude.
Dude, it happens to me all the time. I swear, I'm right there, and
it's
I'm just
the
going,
worst, bro. It's like when you tell people to come over, you're gonna show them something, and then there's nothing there. But it's like 30 feet away.
I can feel it. That's the problem. I can feel it. I just can't put it into words.
Oh yeah, dude. Imagine how Biden feels in this fucking nothing.
I make fun of him all the time. I'm just as bad as him. I'm like, and then. But they're like, when you do learn about stuff like that.
Imagine when he closes his eyes, it's just like a pigeon eating a caramel or whatever. There's nothing in there. It's crazy. He's obviously just being used, obviously, by the new Jim Henson, whoever those people are. But no, there is something about religion. There is something about like, having faith, believing in something that's greater than us. And I think maybe we get away from like the word. It's like not as locked into the words of things, but more about the feeling and what it means to be human. And then also like if you use certain religions, if Christianity or Mohammedanism or whatever is your pathway to believe in faith, then that's just your pathway. I think we're getting past the point of like thinking that no one else can have another pathway too. Like that seems kind of outdated,
That's the Ken Wilber guy. So that's an example of mythic membership where you're like, my group has absolute direct access to reality, everyone else is wrong. And he says what we'll all get to eventually is called tier 2 thinking, where you go like, I can see where you're coming from, this is kind of my thing, what you're doing sick, we're all kind of doing, the same thing in essence with like different, we got like different clothes on in terms of our thoughts. We're all doing the same thing. But yeah, dude, it's like, there's like, dude, I think if you're religious, like actually religious, like you have like a real spiritual connection, I think on average you live like 8 years longer.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like the studies are just like irrefutable.
Oh, well, imagine just the only thing that you cared about. I mean, I even notice as I get older, it's like, I don't have a family, right? I don't have a wife or children. I'm at home sometimes and I'm like, well, what am I even doing?
Yeah. Yeah, I've done that myself where you sit there and you're like, what am I going to do now?
What is the purpose of any, or what is like there's purposeful stuff that happens in moments and things to think about and enjoy. And I'm not being like a downer about myself or about my life, but just like, well, yeah, there must be something greater, right, than just this. And so, yeah, I think family helps you see that, believing in something, getting up every day and believing that the universe cares about you.
Yeah.
I think having a society that reflects that we care about each other and that we care about the universe and that it cares about us too, you know?
Yeah, and it's not that crazy to be like we somehow consciousness emerged within our heads. Why would it not be something prevalent in why would it not be in the universe itself? Like the universe at whole isn't conscious, but somehow out of unconsciousness we have consciousness.
Yeah,
it gets
that's
real
cap,
crazy.
Bro.
It is. It's total cap. But
that's
it's like
fucking cap as fuck, dude.
It's not that
you
crazy.
You think a universe that can't think made something that could think, dude?
That's what I'm saying. And designed itself perfectly. It's unbelievable the way it's set up. So yeah, that's for me. The older I've gotten, I've been like, you know, and that's why they call it faith. It's like I can't prove it, but it's like I will definitely hedge my bets on like, dude, the universe. It's also like it's like an ant trying to explain Florida to like they can't. An ant can't comprehend Florida, but like for some reason humans have this inkling that there is something beyond themselves, and it's totally universal too.
That's a good point, dude.
Totally universal in human beings throughout pretty much all of time.
Yeah, you'd have to, how could you trick? You could never, and it's not even like, I don't even know a ton about religion, but if I look up at the fucking sky at night, I feel like there's something happening here.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
What it is ain't exactly clear.
Exactly. You go, I am that sky.
There's a man with a gun over there. And now we're back in Philadelphia. Guys, Matt McCusker.
Thank you so much, man.
Congratulations. Everybody loves you so much. I'm so grateful that you and Shane have each other and have been on this journey together. And yeah, just thanks for coming and spending time with us today, man.
Thanks for having me, man. Awesome. Thank you.
Now I'm just floating on the breeze, and I feel I'm falling like these leaves. I must be cornerstone.